The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Whether you eat it with only butter and salt, today is the day to celebrate because it's National Corn on the Cob Day.
I really like corn. A big lump with knobs. It has the juice.
Surprise. Get that corn out of my face!
Corn.
He's tiny. I have a bigger chunks of corn in my crop.
I love corn. And when I tried it with butter, everything changed.
You know how they call corn on the cob? But that's how it comes out of the ground, man. They should call that corn. They should call every other version corn off the cob. It's not like if you cut off my arm, you would call my arm Mitch. But then reattach it and call it Mitch altogether.
I hope you will have a fantastic day.
Damn. Good morning. And here we go. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. It's 5:41, which is just great. Just wonderful. And thanks to stupid Dana over there, I just got done taking a written driver's test like I'm a damn ninth grader. Dana found something or another online. You know, the godless internet that I talk about, Josh?
Yeah, I've heard you refer to it as that.
Dana found something or another online for all of us. It's another one of these hypothetical questions, all right? I know we just went through one or two of these. I forgot, what was the big hypothetical we were working on a week or so ago before Josh died?
Was it about fighting? You have to fight a random 300-pound man once a day? That was a while ago. There was some more recent ones, too.
Okay.
At any rate, another one of these hypothetical questions. And I just knocked my mic condom clear across the room with my hand gestures.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
With my hand gestures. Where did it go? I can't broadcast without a condom.
I can get you another one over here.
It's so dark in here.
That's the worst problem. The ground is black, too, and so is the mic condom, so when you lose it, it is gone.
Yeah,
Hubby likes it. Josh likes it kind of dark in here in case the two of us get fresh.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Here, I'll take this one. It's a spare condom. Yeah, it's gone, dude. It fell off my microphone. I felt it hit me on the shoe, and that's the last we'll ever see of it. Here we go. I got a fresh one.
Oh, yeah, nice and tight.
It's almost too tight, really.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
they're always too tight.
Mm-hmm. I kind of liked it better when it was raw.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not feeling you right now.
Yeah.
But the show might last longer.
You want me to raw dog it?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
All right. You guys ready for this?
Bring it.
I'm going to take the condom off.
Whoa.
That's hot stuff.
Now, how does it feel now?
Way better. I never knew it could feel that way.
It feels way better for me, too. It does.
Everybody wins.
I was numb there for a while. Now I'm starting to... Isn't that a friggin' mystery, Josh? It's gone. It's gone.
I thought for sure I'd find it when I walked over there.
It's absolutely gone. Dana found this hypothetical question. It has to do with driving. All right. Here's the question. You're given the option to retake your driver's license written test. If you pass, you get a new car of your choice tax-free. If you fail, you lose your driving privileges for a year. Okay? Just that scenario thrown my way for the very first time, I would say no to that hypothetical question. Retake your driver's written test. If you pass, you get a new car for nothing. If you fail, you lose your driving privileges for a year. The risk is too great. So I would say no. I'm not all that thrilled by fancy schmancy new cars. So I would say no and just continue with my own vehicle with no fear of losing my license for a year.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't care much. Oh, wow, look, a new car. I don't care.
A lot of these tests, too, they try to get you to choose they make it tough where they want you to go one way, but you should go the other way on these written tests?
Wait a minute. So we're on a one-way or we're on a two-way? No, sorry. I just took a written driver's test. So when you said one way and the other way, I feared a collision was going to happen. I know what you mean. You mean. Okay, so did we all take the state of Minnesota written driver's test?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I thought I'd actually do better than I did. But some of the questions I thought were kind of BS.
They were.
I wrote down the ones that I got incorrect.
Well, first off, did you pass or not?
Yes, I passed.
You did? I did.
Yeah, so did I.
I did not, and Dana did not either.
I was horrible at it.
Yeah, I only got 3 wrong.
Oh, I got 4 wrong.
Oh, Christ, I got the same
5.
score Dana did. We both had 28 correct, 12 incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the driving test, that is something that I made flashcards for. I went super hard for studying when it came to the driving test because there was no way I was going to let myself not pass the first time.
Here's the thing with the test. It's silly. And I'll admit that I kind of got frustrated and just guessed on a few of them because the questions were so friggin' long. Obviously, I would take it more seriously if it meant losing my license. But here's the thing. Street signs, I got that nailed.
Yeah, I had that one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get any of those wrong.
No. How could you possibly get one of the street sign questions wrong? And there's plenty of those in there. There are a few really easy ones. Things like if there's an emergency vehicle pulled off on the right shoulder, what do? A, swing over to the left lane to give the vehicle room. B, piss out your window.
Or some of them ridiculous, yeah.
Or C, run over a dog and take a shot of Fireball, and of course the answer is A. It's the ones that boned me, to use a cubby term, boned. The ones that boned me, other than the ones that I just kind of didn't make an effort on because they were too long, are the questions about distance.
That's what got me.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were so, the difference was is it 100 feet or 150 feet?
Right.
I don't know.
There were a handful.
That's what got me. Yeah, I missed 4. And
that's pretty damn good.
The school bus one, when they had the stop arm out, it said the correct answer was 20 feet. I said 4,000. 40. I said 40.
Yeah, that's the silly part. As long as I stop.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it. If I'm not right in front of it. Or
when the school bus fires their stop arm at you, as long as you do stop and you don't kill any children, I think that's a win. But they're nitpicking about how many feet you're supposed to. F that.
Yeah, so 3 out of the 4 were distances, right? And then the only other one I got wrong was, and this was so stupid, who cares about this one? I guess unless you get in trouble for it. Flee from a cop. If you flee from a cop, how long is your prison sentence?
Yeah, I got that one wrong too.
Everybody got that wrong. We're not lawyers.
Why would I know that?
And so the correct answer was 3 years and 1 day. And I wrote 2 years in 1 day.
I put 5 in a day.
Yeah, same here. I was like, probably a long time.
I gave up on that one.
It was so dumb. Can you imagine? You're not a safe driver. You don't know how long you can get in trouble if you run from the cops. That difference was going to make a difference whether or not I run from a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can handle that extra year.
I'm going to think twice now next time I flee from the cops.
Yes, I didn't do that well, but I'm no good at any kind of a test. I hate tests.
Yeah, me too.
I think I should have been diagnosed with ADD or something. Because I just, you guys tell me, maybe you know something or not. Maybe one of you has ADD. Attention deficit disorder?
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
I tuned out. Start over?
See what I'm saying? Say if I ever try to read a book, I'll read through a couple paragraphs, and then it'll dawn on me that I have just barely been skimming, and I have no idea what I just read.
It takes practice.
I definitely
that's all
say
it
that's
is. Reps.
Is that attention deficit disorder, or at least possibly a sign of it?
I've been told that it is.
Because when some of these questions were so long, I got to the end, and I was answering, and then I realized I didn't even know what the question was.
Yeah.
I like to read, and if I take some time off, it takes a little while to get back into it, to relearn how to pay attention. Because I'll do that too. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, how did I have my grocery list done, but I'm on chapter 3? I don't remember anything I just read.
Yeah.
Oh no! Earlier, Nick's mic condom flew off, And so you were broadcasting for a little bit without a proper on-air condom.
I wasn't. It was kind of hot.
I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic. Jesus, he's pregnant.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it turns out he got pregnant from that.
I'm stuck with him until that thing turns 18.
That's the danger.
What a nightmare. Yeah, so that was the little silly scenario. You have the option to retake your driver's license test. If you pass, you get a new car for free. If you fail, you lose your license for a year. I don't know. No. I wouldn't take that scenario or that hypothetical. I don't know if anyone else would. Josh and I both said no.
I thought I would, and then I took the test. And I'm glad that scenario wasn't exactly laid out completely in front of me.
Yeah, some of the questions just aren't fair.
Well, it's funny. Like I was trying to think, what car would I pick? And as I was reading through some of the comments Dana included, people were throwing in like supercars, and I never even considered something like that. I was more going like
Honda Civic.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying I did a Ram T-Rex, right? That was like, okay, that's the truck. That's what I'd get.
Ram T-Rex.
And I never considered something like, have you seen some of those armored executive pickups and stuff like that?
Those are crazy.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I don't know much about those. Gear grinding, truck driving, Jesus said, if we want to talk more about tests, he always had trouble passing drug tests. Never taken one.
I had to help a few buddies out in college with those.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
We've mentioned this before, but they've always threatened around here.
Yeah.
But it's never happened. And we had one boss that was convinced we were on drugs because he's like, just so you know, in a couple weeks, we're going to have a drug test just to give you a heads up. There's going to be a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
Who would pass one right now? I would, certainly.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd pass one.
Ashley, you still would?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, Ashley, how many? So it's almost 6 months now.
Yeah.
Over
Yep,
6 months off the weed. Good for you.
Is weed legal?
That would be
So,
really cool.
Technically, would I pass?
Well, there might be a company policy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I would pass a drug test unless there were any written questions about distance.
I would love to see if I could actually pass one because I know people that it took them like almost damn near a year to pass.
Oh, to flush it out of their system?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Did we ever get around to taking an IQ test? Am I forgetting something?
I don't believe so. At least,
think so.
Maybe it was when I was dying.
Yeah, we had that conversation. Then I think we went on vacation, and then you began to die. We never got around to why were we going to take an IQ test? What were we?
I forgot. We were talking about something.
I'd like to do that. That sounds like fun.
Oh, no. Fauché maintenance ninja. There's a lot of... You got to keep that mic condom on, Nick.
It's on.
It's on now. But, I mean, earlier, that was irresponsible of you. I'm learning now.
Yeah, but it felt good.
I know it did. It felt really good.
I like to be bad. I like to be naughty. I want to feel it. You all want to feel it.
Yep.
It was some of the best broadcasting I've ever felt.
Uh-huh. Well, what happened?
Well, so
I got some
I'm not
guy
fat.
pregnant.
I'm aerodynamic. Jesus got pregnant. And, oh, no. Fauché maintenance ninja, without that mic condom on your microphone, he contacted herpes.
You friggin' prick. What a prick.
Herpes. That's a lifelong condition.
That's just tailor-made for Josh. He loves puns. Oh, Wisco maple syrup, Jesus says his ears are now all red and itchy after broadcasting without a mic condom.
Local 34, Jesus said he just took it anally, so he's not pregnant.
Everything that I was saying, he took it in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought ahead.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, there you go.
You gave a couple people eargasms, it says here via text.
Oh, man. An eargasm. What else is going on? What other kind of tests could we take? We need to take an IQ test. All of us need to take a drug test.
Door swinging truck driver Jesus says, I'm fat, and it took me 52 days to pass my drug test.
What does that have to do?
I thought it gets stored in your fat.
Yes.
Yep, your fat cells.
Oh, really? Heavier people might have a harder time ridding themselves of drugs?
Oh, sure.
How did you guys know that?
Because THC attaches to the fat cells.
Well, yeah, but how did you know that?
Because I smoke
I
weed.
guess, I don't know. Maybe just
Well, I drink, but I don't know anything about what alcohol does to you.
Do you have fat cells, Wapple?
I don't think so. That's why I feel like it just flush right out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you're good within 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is, I mean, what, did you go to a class called marijuana's?
No, just like doing my own research, I guess.
Why
when
do
I
you
was
research
younger.
it?
I don't know.
because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I learned when I got diagnosed with CHS, they told me they were
What
like,
is CHS?
cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome. So I guess an easier way to say it is that my body's essentially allergic to marijuana.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can ask like the 10.5 thousand people that are in the support group I'm in.
That's weird that you didn't say 10,500.
What did she say?
10.5
I just remember seeing because on
10.5.
Facebook it says 10.5, so that's why. I
Wait a
know.
minute. What happened now? Is this brand new information? What
No,
happened?
it's been around for. I got diagnosed when I was like 18. It just took me a while to accept it and officially quit.
Officially,
yeah.
officially. She's Canadian. When did you learn of this? When you were 18?
Yeah,
And
when
you've
I was
never
about
mentioned this
18.
to us before. You have
I've
some kind of...
mentioned it on kind of in passing. We haven't really gotten into it much.
No,
Are you contagious?
No. No, yeah, my body doesn't it doesn't process cannabinoids the way that other people's do. They claim it can happen to some people, rarely if they've been smoking for only like a couple of months, but for the most part it happens to people that have been smoking too much for too long of a time.
My body is a temple.
Yeah. Dude,
Waffle.
Yeah, me and Waffle talk about it all the time. I'm like, dude, I'm so jealous. Like,
I wonder if you can have some sort of plasma transfusion and Wapple's body can help your body.
Yeah.
that'd be sweet.
Box Tossing Jesus thought he had CHS. He says it's real. Probably sucks. Luckily, I don't actually have it.
Nice.
You say this condition. Give me the name again.
You can just call it CHS.
Well, I want to hear you say it.
I like the full bug.
Cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome.
I've been to CHS Field. They have a whole ballpark full.
I was going to say.
That's
crazy.
And I can't believe I never even asked what that stood for.
Yeah.
Cannabinoid
Meses.
hypermesis syndrome. Well, then, if you've got it, because you said someone led you to believe that it's from smoking too much, if you've got it, then I got to have a few other friends who have been stricken with this and they just haven't said anything about it.
It's a lot of like gut problems. Like I would get sick for about a week and it'd be like nonstop throwing up. Always in
Nonstop
the
throwing.
fetal position kind of thing. Nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
How about-
sometimes when people say
And you
that they
kept
like
going?
Yeah, because it would happen sporadically. Like some years I would have maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Some years I would have 1 or 2 episodes a month.
You
So,
kept going because
yeah.
you loved it
And
because you maybe became slightly hooked on it.
Oh, I was 100% addicted.
I mean, look at drunks. Drunks will keep drinking even when their liver is coming out their
Yeah,
ass.
they're
Exactly.
on their 4th liver transplant and they're still going.
And with CHS, it's tricky because it will make you feel better. It's smoking. Like it will make it go away for maybe an hour or 2, and then you're right back into the nonstop vomiting. The only thing that fixes it is just completely stopping.
Josh, why did you ask if it was real? Had you heard that it wasn't?
Oh, no, I hadn't heard anything about it. I just, the way she said it, it sounded so fancy,
It
and I didn't know
sounded-
you could be allergic to weed.
Yeah, that's I
mean,
dumbed it
ragweed.
down to it's just like your body's like, no, thank you, no more of this.
All right, here's a test we can take from evil garbage man Jesus. I was wondering, what other tests are there? IQ test, drug test, evil garbage man Jesus. You guys should take the hazardous materials endorsement test for a CDL. Questions like, what does he say here? Questions about radioactive materials. Jesus Christ.
I had an ex-boyfriend that had to take a test that was something like that because he was going to school to be a paramedic, and I guess you have to know those kind of things when you go up to a scene, like all their different signs, and that stuff is crazy ridiculously hard.
I had to take one of those tests when I
None of
worked
it
for
makes
UPS
sense.
for a month. We had to learn all that kind of stuff.
What the hell is this? I had to retake my my knowledge test a few years. Oh, I think he means the written test. Okay, Bad Company Jesus. Bad Company Jesus. I think he means the written driver's test that we were just discussing. He wrote, I had to retake my knowledge test a few years back because I got caught with no insurance on my spare vehicle. And boy, did I have to study my balls off to make sure I passed that test.
It's a lot different. So when my kids, when they went through it, so I mean, they're 22 and 25 now, but there's like a lot of different laws than when you and I took it.
Okay.
Right? And it'll be like named after somebody or something like that. And some of the, like we didn't have to do a 3-point turn. Did you have to do that?
I don't remember what that is.
Yeah, we didn't have. Or did you have to do like a like back into a parking space?
Parallel park?
Well, we had to parallel, but we didn't have to back into a parking space.
I don't remember backing into a parking spot. No.
So I thought.
I remember parallel parking, sure.
I thought, well, with this written test, Dad's going to step in and really help you out, help you study. And I looked at some of that stuff. I'm like, I've never heard of this. I think that's what helped me on this one is like, we didn't have to learn. And like, we learned 10 and 2, right?
Yes.
And now you don't do that anymore with airbags.
Oh,
you don't?
Yeah, no, you don't do that.
Nope.
So you must have got that one wrong.
I did.
So
Yeah,
I knew
10
you don't
and
do
2.
10 and 2 anymore.
Yeah,
because when the airbag goes off, you punch yourself in the face.
Yeah, your fist will go right through the back of your head.
So where am I supposed to hang on to the wheel now?
9 and 3.
Just do it with your knees.
And
6 and 9.
And that inch and a half, 2 inches, don't get cute, is going to make that big of a difference when the airbag comes at my skull going 300 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
your hands won't be in the
Yeah,
law.
your hands aren't going to punch your face.
That's funny.
Can you tell the difference between this and this?
Sort of.
Can you just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Josh took his condom off.
Yeah. I always double them up just to be extra safe.
Josh is always known for sliding the condom off.
Yeah, okay, so the test has changed. And
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it
Makes
should.
sense.
35 years ago, whatever, when we were doing things like that. I don't know, 40,
I had mine,
40 years, whatever.
Yeah, 33 for me.
Yeah.
I had mine when I had my license by 8 a.m. on my birthday. I could not wait. I wanted that freedom so bad.
You couldn't wait to get out of your parents' house.
Nope.
There's drive around there. Is this correct? You had an old Volkswagen hippie bus.
No, they did have that, but no. At the time, I was driving the Golf.
A Golf.
Yeah, they were Volkswagen.
Before they got cool.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was so embarrassed of that hippie bus. Like my parents, I'm like, you got to drop me off 2 miles from school. And now, right, they're cool.
Did it just rattle that hippie bus?
Oh, it was mostly rust, but it was like this toothpaste minty green color,
but you kind of blew it because you can get busy, as they used to say in the early 90s, in a Volkswagen hippie bus with the ladies.
Oh, I didn't get busy in the early 90s. Well, 1993, May of 1993.
It was a busy time for you.
I remember the barometric pressure. I remember everything about that.
I mean, what you should have been thinking at the time is, I'm going to turn this into the Bang Bus.
Yeah, I never considered that. I was so embarrassed of that thing.
That's typical. Yes, Wapple.
My dad had a Crown Vic station wagon, and it was what he called in the crate, so it had the wood panel on the side, and it had the seats in the back. I hated driving that thing when I was a kid. Now I would love it.
Yeah, you kidding me? That's pure sex right
That
there.
sounds awesome.
I bet it had balls, too.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Those old wagons in the 70s and 80s just had, that you could jump right out of your...
But then it feels like you're turning the steering wheel for, like, ever. Because, oh, boy, does it just keep going.
Well,
and
you
going
needed to
and
get a
going.
suicide knob.
Those are illegal, right? You can't have those anymore.
Yeah, those are illegal.
Oh, so there you go, by God.
You know, if I had that hippie bus, you know what I'd listen to? And this goes back to a conversation Nick and I had off the air. I would listen to Survivor, I Can't Hold Back. What a tune that is. What a great song.
Survivor, too bad we can't play it, of course.
That sucks.
You were listening, you would have, if you had the hippie bus, you would have listened to a lot of Survivor.
Yeah.
That would have bothered the hippie community.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have liked it. It'd have to be, what, Fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grateful Dead, something like that.
They would have wanted you to listen to Bobby McGee over and over again by Janis Joplin, but you'd be listening to Survivor.
Maybe like Joan Collins or something like that. Maybe the Beatles.
You mean Joan Baez?
I don't know who I mean. Joan somebody.
Yeah, Joan.
Just any
Joni, Chachi.
Any Joan will do.
Who's the one that sang "Send in the Clowns"?
I don't remember. But the Joan...
Judy
that Krusty?
Collins.
Oh, Judy
Collins. That's what I meant.
Wasn't that Krusty the Clown?
Krusty the Clown.
Yeah, Krusty the Clown also did a version. You're right.
Oh, I was just saying something about the song Bobby McGee. Here's High Hopes McGee, Jesus, texting into the program. Back to, we were wondering about an IQ test. He said if you can't remember why you were going to take an IQ test, you've already failed the IQ test.
We did take, some people are, didn't you guys already take one? We did take one a while ago.
Yeah, March of last year. I just looked it up.
Oh, so it hasn't even...
What?
Oh, yeah, that's over a year. Okay.
I don't remember these things, and now I hate myself. Absolutely hate myself.
Boiler operator Jesus recommends that we get a micectomy, just to make sure there's no more, unplanned pregnancies, things like that, if the mic condom ever falls off again.
That's good stuff.
This sleepy driver Jesus took the Wonderlic test, from the NFL.
I remember doing
yes.
that. Back in the
want to
day.
take that too.
It's boring.
Is it really?
Yeah, we did it years ago, Josh. When the Wonderlic, all of a sudden, this was the biggest story in the NFL for a stretch of time, years and years ago. The Wonderlic test. All the players have to take it before they're drafted. And then this story broke that Vince Young, who was coming out of the University of Texas, had a nice career with the Tennessee Titans. Most of you remember Vince Young. There was this story that broke that Vince Young was just as dumb as a box of rocks.
They called him Vince Dumb.
Yeah, because he just gong showed this Wonderlic test. And then we found the internet's version of the Wonderlic test 20 years ago. I don't know what it would look like now if you looked it up, but it was just dumb and boring. The questions were just very simple. And so I think we learned that there must have been something else behind that story, because it just, once we looked at the test and took it, it went nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there was nothing extraordinary about it where you'd go, oh my God, how did he get that wrong? My guess is he just didn't care because he was a great athlete and knew, hell, I'm going to be drafted in the first round anyway. What do I care? So it's a non-story, I guess, is what I remember it being.
Update. People are saying suicide knobs are legal. I always heard they were illegal at this. I thought our troopers said you couldn't do them anymore.
That's what I thought so too.
That's what I remember.
Maybe it's changed.
Driving. Boy, some of you are awful at it.
You do see that, right?
Oh, absolutely awful.
It's so different because now you look at somebody and who's before, if this was 20 years ago, well, that person is clearly intoxicated. And now my first thought is they're clearly on their phone.
Yeah.
When somebody's driving behavior is poor.
And, I'm not a hard-on behind the wheel. You guys know that. That's the most relaxed I am at any time of the day or night. I've never experienced...
You get the most sleep behind the wheel.
I've never experienced road rage. I'm just a go-with-the-flow driver. I am. But, so I didn't want to make it seem like, I'm some kind of hard-on. But there are some folks who are just terrible at it. They just weren't meant to do it. Let me ask you this question, Josh. What's more dangerous on the roadway? Someone who has very limited driving skills, they're just not a very good driver, or someone who thinks they're the best, but they're not?
Oh, I'm going to go with the second one.
Okay, fair enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, okay. Because I know plenty of guys who are just, the type that texts the radio station when the snow first begins to fall, right? You know where I'm going with this already. The guy that texts in and says, well, looks like some of you have forgotten how to drive in the snow. It's embarrassing how many Minnesotans don't know how to drive in the know-it-all, I'm the man kind of. There's plenty of those out there.
Those are usually the people that aren't listening to the fact that, like, if it's bad conditions, you're supposed to go slower. They're going like 20 over still.
Right. So there you go. I think, I got to agree with that. The more dangerous driver is the one who is convinced they're the best. Or the ones who treat it like a competition.
Oh, I saw a guy yesterday. Oh, super old guy. Like he was just giving it to some truck driver yesterday, and I thought, you're going to lose this. Like he's swerving into him and everything. It was insane.
What?
Every time you turn that friggin' engine over, that's the beginning of the competition. And you're dead set on winning. I'm going to win. It's fun to drive. I have fun with it. I don't get too wound up. I have fun.
I like driving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Pretty much anywhere I go, I'll be the driver.
Yep, same here. I enjoy it.
And we started the program with audio about Corn on the Cob Day, huh? When does When does hardcore porn day happen? We could use something with a little punch here. Today is corn on the cob day. Yesterday was iced tea day. We can skip some of these, Wobble, for Christ's sake. Wake me up when it's hardcore porn day.
Wobble, tomorrow do a hardcore porn intro.
All right. Yeah, dude, just make it up.
And
no one's going to check on it.
If you don't mind, maybe start with "I Can't Hold Back" from Survivor from the Paul Blart Mall Cop soundtrack.
Oh, you didn't mention that earlier, did you?
I was telling Nick, I was going through some songs. I'm like, it's a great song, and I named a few great songs. And I had told him this was the Paul Blart Mall Cop soundtrack I listened to yesterday.
I love
If there's one thing Adam Sandler can do is put in good tunes in his movies.
Well, he knows 80s rock.
Yeah, he's great at it.
So when you listen to Survivor, and you've always been a fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan.
This is far from the first time that you've recognized and appreciated.
Rocky made me a fan.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you were listening to Survivor, Can't Hold Back, which, again, I'd love to play right now, but then a bunch of corporate jag-offs will send us emails and threaten termination. When you were listening to that song, you happened to be listening to it via the soundtrack to the movie Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Well, so what happened was I just, I said, I searched for it, right, to stream it. And then it's funny how, like nowadays, it won't show up from the album necessarily. It'll pull it from something else. And I saw it was on that soundtrack. I'm like, well, I wonder what else is on the soundtrack. And Eddie Money, Something in Love.
I Think I'm in Love.
I Think I'm in Love. That
which
was
is
on there.
Wonderful song.
No, I love that tune as well.
I'm looking at it right now. There's some Speedwagon on there, some Manilow.
Which one? Which
Take It on the Run.
Uh-huh. Manilow, go.
Weekend in New England.
I don't like that one so much.
Detroit Rock City's on there.
Yeah,
sure.
That was on there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Bon Jovi, Runaway.
Yes.
That was on there.
Garbage. Total garbage.
You don't like that one?
Nope.
Ding, 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 ding.
Don't do
You don't
it.
even like that part?
No, I can't stand it. I hate it.
What it goes? Bad.
Nope. Bon Jovi. Garbage. You want to put somebody on the booze cruise?
Oh, yeah. We got to reward the early morning brother and
Early
sisterhood.
morning brother and sisterhood.
Yeah,
Great
we
call.
did that for so many years.
Wake the hell up. Here we go. Text the word, this is on our Luther Bloomington Kia text line. Text the word cabin to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the Half-Ass Morning Show Booze Cruise, Friday, June 28th on Stillwater River Boats. Good luck with that. Let's get you on the on that barge so we can go up and down and back and forth. We'll be right back on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
This episode brought to you by Progressive. Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
So earlier on this morning, we all took the Minnesota written driver's exam. It was all for fun. Dana and I failed. The rest of you passed. As much as I hate tests, they are fun. Some of them can be fun and interesting, and you learn a little bit of something or another about yourself. I was asking, what are some other tests we could take Here are some answers via our text machine, 651-989-9393 is how you get a hold of us. Utility pipe layer Jesus. Take the U.S. citizen test. Anyone know anything about that?
Oh, that's tough.
I would not want to take that because I know there'd be some folks that would want to kick us out of the country.
Yeah, it'd be embarrassing.
I have heard that is impossible. I took a sample test, and I was surprised at how difficult that was.
What, do they ask you about American history and
all
whatnot?
kinds of stuff, yeah.
So if it's so difficult, then why would folks want to kick us out of the country if we didn't do well on it?
Well, because, now you know how it is now. Like, it's a competition.
Right. Who can be more American?
Who can tell you who's the most American?
Sure.
That kind of thing.
I know nothing about it. That'd be interesting to look at, the U.S. citizen test. This is cute. A listener says, I had to take the Class B driver's commercial test. I asked my father-in-law about it. He said, any idiot can pass that test. So our listener says, I didn't even study, and I failed. How about we take a test? Maybe someone, if any of us, if you can find any of these, print them off. Maybe we'll get to them someday. Here's an interesting possibility. And I've heard of this, take a test which tells you what career you should have.
Oh, yeah, we took that in high school.
Yeah, we did too.
Oh, yeah, the career aptitude test, I think it's called.
That sounds like fun. We could all. I mean, obviously, Josh and I are right where we're supposed to be. But the rest of you might find out where you're going next.
I wish I could remember what the one in high school said.
I don't remember. I don't think I ever took that test. What did you call it? The career aptitude test?
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
That sounds interesting. This sounds difficult. The food safety certification test to be a restaurant manager. I wouldn't have.
That was tough.
I wouldn't have any idea.
I remember that.
Josh, should you and I take a compatibility test to see if we were really meant to be together?
I don't think we need to, but
we don't
sure.
need to.
That'd
we
be
don't
fun.
need to.
I was just telling you off the air a few things about how compatible we are.
We are.
There's a person who wants to know if we've taken the Pen 15 test. Yes, I have. I have, and I failed miserably.
All of this stuff sounds, again, I don't like tests, but it sounds like the results might be interesting. So
a lot of people have texted in and suggest we all take an STD test, and then folks can guess who has what.
We read the results on the air, and then you have to guess which one of the five of us it is.
Who here has had an STD? I have.
Never.
I have not.
I don't think so. No, I thought I did, but I did not.
Yeah, I had some sort of infection in my special purpose, which they said was sexually transmitted.
I think that I proved myself immune.
I think so, too.
I proved myself to be immune of such things.
You've had some scares.
One was real bad. The warts.
The wart one was bad.
The warts was scary. But it wasn't no thing but a chicken wing on a string from Burger King. And it was a great relief when I found that out. Because I was covered in warts.
Oh, no.
But it was not a sexually transmitted disease. Oh, I was convinced that they were going to have to cut it off. I was.
That must have been terrible.
I looked down one day and I said, oh, God, it's over. I turned on the internet and looked at pictures of genital wart. And I said, oh, God.
That's me.
That's me.
I recognize my penis.
I was crying. I was almost crying on my way into the doctor's office.
How'd they get that picture of me?
This person says you guys have mastered the COVID-19 test. That's true. I passed that 3 times.
You have.
3 times I passed that one.
Yeah, you and I are like the league leaders, Josh.
Now, you've got me by 1, right?
I think so, yes.
I thought for sure I had it last week. But no, yeah, I've passed 3 times.
I like the sound of this, how do you say it, career aptitude. That sounds like fun. At any rate, one more text message. Of course, since the conversation started with all 5 of us taking the Minnesota written driver's exam, just to see how we do after all these years, we started talking about when we first started driving. Josh, when he first started driving, his folks had a Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah, that was the first car I drove.
And then...
manual transmission.
Word. And then not long after you got driving, your folks had a Volkswagen hippie bus for you to drive around town.
Well, I never drove that one, so I'm sorry. Did I scare you?
Yeah.
Was I too enthusiastic? You jumped a little bit. That one was my dad's, right? He wasn't going to let us drive that.
Okay.
But that was simultaneously they had that.
Yeah, well, I wonder what it was like. I wonder what it was like to get your driver's license and your folks have a cool car for you to go around town. Like my buddy, the first car he started driving around town because it belonged to his folks was a friggin' Audi.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I had
friggin' rich Wayzata pricks.
I had two friends in my friend group that, they were driving around really nice cars. And here I am in, like, my little slug bug manual transmission.
See, that sounds fun.
So, it was actually really cool.
I had to share a car with my brother, my brother, my dad, my cousin, and sometimes my sister when she got her license, right?
You'd go 2 weeks without driving.
Oh, yeah. See, you rarely got the car.
Right.
But did you guys ever play this game? Maybe you didn't share a car, but we did. And so it was the whoever could just basically show up on fumes.
Yeah.
I lost that game all the time. Always when I got in, I had to be the guy that had to pay for gas.
The battle over who's going to put $5 in the tank.
My own father.
Yeah. Well, he'd leave you dry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I get it. You got to go somewhere. And when I was a teenager, I wasn't planning it. Now I like to be early, right? If you're not, if you're on time, you're late. That's kind of the attitude I have now. But at the time, I'm like, I'm going to skate to the last second until I got to get someplace. And I get in the car, and there's never any. I should have learned my lesson.
My brother and I used to piss the old man off before we got done driving his pickup. We'd turn on the hard rock station. At the time, I believe, Josh, it was Hot Rockin' 104 FM.
Oh, I used to like that station.
My brother and I would put it on Hot Rockin' 104 FM and turn the volume all the way up on my dad's pickup stereo, so then when he drove it next, when he turned it over, it would about, blow his eardrums out. He hated that. Turn down that acid rock.
You see, your brother would do that on purpose?
Both of us would. We'd turn the stereo, so when the old man turned the vehicle over, it would just blow his brains out. Okay, one more text on that subject of, using your folks' car. Listener says, my mom had a 1986 Firebird with a T-top.
Dude, that rules.
Couple months before I got my license, she traded it in for a Ford Taurus station wagon that looked like a jelly bean on wheels.
Thanks, Mom.
Not cool.
Remember those Tauruses.
Oh, God. All right. Friggin' acid rock. All right, pay attention to our first stupid news story because it cuts to the chase pretty quickly. Optimus Prime was arrested in Austin, Texas last week.
I am Optimus Prime, and this message is to my creators. Leave planet Earth alone, because I'm coming for you.
Glad he said for you at the end of that. That was concerning. I can't imagine what the load from Optimus Prime would look like.
Oh, my goodness.
Lots of nuts.
Covered in metal, Jesus has texted in to ask a question. What's an actual example of an acid rock band? Dude, I got that term from my dad and his buddies. They hated our music. They referred to it as acid rock. If I'm going by those fellas' definition, anything with at least one electric guitar was acid rock. I mean, they were such country western guys, hillbillies, my dad and his buddies, that, they would refer to REO Speedwagon as acid rock on the same day that they referred to Twisted Sister or Metallica as acid rock. So anything that wasn't country western, anything with an electric guitar, there's probably a different definition now. We're going back to 1978 here, so.
Pretty loose.
Optimus Prime was arrested in Austin, Texas last week. We were just talking about the Transformers a few days ago for some damn reason. As far as I can tell, a lunatic down there in Austin, Texas changed his effing name to Optimus Prime, who is the mayor of the Transformers or whatever he is. He's the leader of the Transformers?
The Decepticons. I'm sorry, the Autobots. Oh, my God, I can't believe I did that.
Dude.
What a twist that would be. We were talking about the Transformers before, Nick, because of the dude that got naked and climbed on the top of Bumblebee.
That's right. This dude allegedly stole a motor vehicle. Optimus, who is 37 years old, was stopped by cops. He was seen driving a vehicle that was reported stolen. Some of you are maybe wondering, if this Optimus Prime might have stolen a red and blue semi-truck like the Optimus Prime in the cartoons. I wish I could tell you. There's no description in this here story of the vehicle that was snatched. We don't know what this version of Optimus Prime. He was taken to county jail. His full name, this effing clown, his full name is apparently Optimus Prime Blakely. The Blakely ruins the bit. He should think about deleting that altogether, right? If you're going to be Optimus Prime, just be Optimus Prime.
Mm-hmm. Own it.
I saw the dude's mugshot, too, and I expected to see a full-on dork. I expected to see a guy that looks like Wapple.
No offense.
But this guy looks normal, so he's obviously just nuts. He doesn't look like a Transformer super dork, this guy, when I looked at his mugshot.
I loved Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So cool.
What was it about him that you fell head over heels in love with Optimus Prime?
Well, the voice was cool.
Uh-huh.
Big, manly, big semi. I thought that was pretty cool.
Great leader.
Yeah, when he came into the picture, you knew stuff was about to go down.
He's got the American flag colors, essentially, You
guys are all big hard-ons for the Transformers.
I loved the Transformers.
Yeah, absolutely loved.
Again, let's go back to this. I think the worst part about learning how to do all that mixed martial arts killer karate stuff, the worst part is you never get a chance to use it. You might never get a chance to use it.
I agree with you. I mean, those, especially the ones that are really into it, right? They've achieved many, many belts. They're so good at it. They put in so much time. They don't get a chance to use it. That's a shame.
They work their asses off to learn how to pull somebody's leg loose and plant it in their ass, and then nothing ever happens where you can show that skill off. Here's a kid who got lucky and got to dump his jiu-jitsu skills on someone, but it turned into a big argument. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Says here an 18-year-old Brazilian jiu-jitsu blue belt took down a man that he thought was trying to steal his car outside the gym. The suspected thief claims it was all a big misunderstanding. There's video for you on this deal. It happened at a joint called 10th Planet Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Gym in Indianapolis, Indiana. The kid is called Gavin Archer. He confronted a fella named Andrew Wilkerson, who was apparently trying to enter the kid's car. The two of them argued. Wilkerson, who was a mechanic, claimed he was just trying to do his job and take the car in for an inspection at the muffler shop next door. I think they share a parking lot, the gym and the muffler shop. So the mechanic thought, this is the next car I need to fix. The kid said, no, I don't. So the two of them argued. Wilkerson, the mechanic, appeared to charge at the kid, Archer, who's backing away. But the young kid, Archer, wrestles Wilkerson to the ground, overpowers him, dumps some punches on the mechanic's skull, and then he choked the guy for a while. He tried to mix up the skill set that he's learned. Some punching, some choking. Wilkerson told the cops that the fight was a misunderstanding. He says Archer's vehicle matched the description of the car he was supposed to work on. Archer says the mechanic instigated the brawl. Who cares? But here's a quote from the kid. The kid says, "The best martial art is running away."
Deep.
I bet that, it's funny. My stepdaughter and my youngest both were in martial arts. And that's one of the first things the teachers will say, right?
Right.
But it's fun. The jiu-jitsu one was great because the instructor had said, basically, you don't want to use it. All right, let's kick some ass. Pretty much jumped right into it. I've watched, kind of watching that with my youngest especially. He did jiu-jitsu for many, many years. And they have, the kids on one side, the adults on the other. And I thought, well, that'd be a cool skill to learn, right? To be able to defend yourself like that. But when you're watching it, especially with the adults, it's very intimate. I don't think I could take one of those classes.
Oh, you got to get really up and close and personal.
I mean, your nose is buried in a stranger's gooch.
I don't know about that either.
That's what deterred me from becoming a wrestler.
Same type of thing?
It's
so intimate.
I just don't feel comfortable being tangled up in such a way.
Yeah, I'm not a physical affection type of guy. So I know that kind of closeness makes me uncomfortable, even with somebody I care greatly about.
Oh, and then all the sweat and everything on him, too.
Oh, I like that.
Some people pay extra for that.
I was encouraged when I was a kid to maybe try wrestling because although I was scrawny, I was pretty tough, I think. And, and I remember being very encouraged when I was told, well, there's weight classes, so you'd only be wrestling kids your size. And I thought, but, so I was interested for a brief time when I was a little kid. But then I saw it happen, and I thought, I just don't think I'm comfortable with that. My bag dragging across some other, I don't want my bag, and I saved that for Jamaica,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's where you're going to fall on another man. But by naked, I mean, you're not naked in mixed martial arts.
But we were in Jamaica, yeah. And we fell. I said, I'm going to save, that's what I told my folks. I said, I'm going to save bag-on-bag contact for when I'm drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning in Jamaica on a beach involved in an orgy.
They kicked me out of wrestling because my signature move was I like to check the oil, and they're like, you got to get out of here. You can't check the oil.
Bitney, you can't do that again.
He's checking the oil again.
So, I don't know if this kid was a little too eager to cut loose with the karate moves, but who cares? I don't blame him. Like I said, the worst part about learning all that killer karate and jiu-jitsu is, one day you sit back and go, Jesus, I've been going to class for 7 years, and I haven't been able to beat anybody up yet.
Oh, and I'd imagine just the expense as well.
And he's 18. This probably running a little hot. This here is the type of deal where it sounds like a typical story of vehicle theft, and then it gets weird. A day or two ago in New Hampshire, a motorcycle was stolen from a charity event. The bike was raffled off fair and square at a neighborhood bar. The bike was still on display out front the bar. It was supposed to be picked up by the winner in a day or two, but someone took the damn thing when nobody was looking. Are you following all this so far?
Yep.
Yeah.
That blows.
That does suck.
Neighborhood bar putting on this nice charity. Got a motorcycle. We're going to raffle it off. Hey, you're the winner. I'll be back in a couple of days. I suppose they still had the bike on display. Maybe a banner that says, Donnie from down the street won Someone took it. Not long after, local cops saw a 36-year-old guy by the name of Brian Bennett pushing a motorcycle down the street in the middle of the night. Bennett told the officer his bike had died. He was walking it to a nearby truck stop to get a jump start. Bennett told the cop he won the bike in a raffle. The bike was still registered in the previous owner's name, and the paperwork had not been processed yet. All right. The cop then noticed that stupid Brian Bennett kept attempting to block the cop from reading the license plate on the motorcycle by walking in front of it.
Just kind of leaning casually.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, that's going to work.
The cop said he seemed nervous. His voice kept getting higher, and he was talking really fast. Bennett then got on the bike and said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to run on you." And then he kick-started the bike, and he took off. But the bike broke down again right away. So the cops had no problem catching up with this dumb bastard. And here's where they found out that this Bennett guy is squirrely as hell. This just isn't your typical thief. Police found 4 knives on the dude. One of them was covered in blood.
It's concerning.
The cops say the blood was from a deer carcass.
Why does he have that?
Bennett had used the knife to dismember a deer carcass. And they found dead deer parts in the bike's saddlebags. He admitted that he had recently ate some roadkill.
Oh, no, dude, no.
Did he eat it raw? Some of you might be saying, what do you mean? He cut deer carcass off of a roadkill and then just put it in his mouth? No. He was, where is it? I'll get there. He was cutting the carcass and cooking it on the tailpipe of the motorcycle.
I've cooked my leg on one of those before. Ooh, owie.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
I've been kind of wanting to get one again.
You've been talking about that. I encourage you. I think you should.
I'd kill myself probably at this point.
Yeah, don't get hurt.
I haven't been on one since 2012.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah?
You're not taking Josh's gig, even if he dies.
Yeah, I almost died last week.
I don't know what the hell you're trying. You're trying to encourage an old man now to get a big crotch rocket? You psycho. No, you're not getting a motorcycle. I'm putting my friggin' foot down.
Oh, they're too expensive now.
You're not getting one.
All right, I'm not going to get one. What if I got an e-bike? It's essentially the same thing.
Go ahead.
That's okay, yeah.
Yes, it is essentially the same thing. Get yourself in. This guy, I mean, for a while he was riding the motorcycle, but like you heard, it broke down. He finds a carcass. He cuts the meat off. He's cooking it on the tailpipe as he rides around town.
It's resourceful.
Wow. Wow.
The cops found out that the dude had also upped and stole a car a couple nights ago before he stole the motorcycle, but he crashed that damn thing. He's currently undergoing what they call here a mental health evaluation.
Yeah, that's a little goofy, isn't it? If I saw somebody cooking meat on their motorcycle,
dude,
I might think they're going through some rough times.
Definitely.
I'll eat just about anything, but if a guy offered me motorcycle deer meat that he just cooked, I think I'm going to pass.
A code brown or even a code yellow. No fun when you're behind the wheel of a motor vehicle and you can't find anywhere to stop and unleash the fury. It's a terrible feeling. Terrible.
Helpless.
I've often said, back in my irritable bowel days, and it lasted for many years. Josh knew me back in those days.
I felt for you, man. It was bad, almost daily.
Yeah. I would rather, I've said this out loud many times, I'd rather have a broken bone, broken arm, broken leg, than the feeling that I had over and over and over again back in those days. The desperate need to find a bathroom and you can't get to one. I'd rather have an arm off even, because I suffered so badly. If you got pulled over in that situation, you tell the cops the truth, right? Look, you're flying down the road, you get pulled. I gotta go. You tell them the truth, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Go, why not? Honesty's the best policy anyway, and just tell them the truth.
They'll be able to tell. I mean, everybody knows that look on someone's face.
I think so.
See those beads of sweat going down your face?
Maybe this guy was telling the truth, maybe not, but a dude was allegedly driving recklessly down the freeway a night or two ago. Cops spotted him. Ended up he was a fella named Carl Jason Roberts Rosenberg.
That's too many names.
Yeah, that's not a real name.
I don't know what he's been up to, that he's got so many names. Cops saw him making abrupt lane changes, they say, slamming on the brakes to avoid hitting other cars. When they stopped him, he told them straight up he was speeding because he, quote, had to pee. He works as an Uber driver. He was arrested and charged with reckless driving. So it must have been pretty bad the way the guy was driving, or the cops didn't believe that he had to take a squeege, or both. I don't know.
I've told you before, I've been lucky. I've only had that one time in the car.
Oh.
Just an emergency. Thank God I went by a park that had a porta potty. That's the only code brown I've ever had in a vehicle. Miserable. And it was around the same time. This is when we started, because I was landscaping after work, after the station here. And it was on the way home from that. And I thought of you, obviously, because I'm like, he goes through this every day. This was absolutely horrible. The panic, the sweat. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah,
it's nice you thought of him.
I wish I could say it only happened once. My God. What is this now? Hot Cocoa She's has texted in. Back to this lunatic.
Oh, no. Is this something mean?
No.
Every once in a while, she's spicy. She'll come after you.
I'm not scared of Hot Cocoa She's. And if she ever comes at you, you just call me.
All right, I will.
I'll straighten her out one way or the other.
She says some things about my mom. You've probably noticed that in text messages.
I haven't noticed that, but now that you're telling me that she can be a mean bitch, I will. I'm not afraid, Hot Cocoa. She has a story here related to the lunatic with the motorcycle, and he's cooking deer parts on the tailpipe of the motorcycle, so he has something to... She knew somebody who used to cook cans of food on the dash of their truck.
Really?
Heat them up that way, yeah.
Vienna sausages was one of their favorite snacks.
Vienna sausage. I wonder what is a Vienna sausage?
Yeah.
I've certainly heard
Oh,
of
those
it.
little like canned sausages.
Oh, is that what that?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I love cocktail weenies. That's fun at like a potluck or something when people bring the cocktail
Yeah.
weenies.
Those are
haven't
fun.
haven't had that in a long time.
Little frilly toothpicks.
I don't like them.
What?
What?
That seems like something you'd love.
I don't like them.
Who doesn't like those?
Don't like them.
Do you like
Whatever.
the meatballs then?
Yeah.
Oh, meatballs are great too.
That's okay.
You really don't like cocktail weenies. It kind of bums me out. I want you to like everything I like.
No, they're kind of rubbery, and I don't like that. People always
what
use
about the sauce?
No, it's always garbage sauce. It's cheap. It's like they dumped it out of a. No, I'll go straight to the meatballs. You can have all those stupid little rubbery sausages you want, dude.
Would you try them again for me? Just one.
Fine.
You'll put a little wiener in your mouth.
You know, now I'm starting to understand why hot cocoa cheeses comes at you.
I just want you to like what I like.
Dude, just let it go. Let it go.
Fine.
Hot cocoa cheeses. I'm with you. Let's kick this guy's ass. All right, one more. We got to get out of here. I get to talking, and this is a funny video. Even though most of us won't be able to understand a word that's being said, folks like myself, we continue to struggle with how to operate a Zoom video. We don't know when the camera's on, when it's off. How do you? Anyway, a former mayor of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, don't you know? An older fellow by the name of Cesar Maia. He turned the camera on his computer and accidentally joined a Zoom meeting. It was a city council type of a meeting. The poor bastard was sitting on the toilet, and everyone at the meeting saw his nuts and dong hanging in the bowl. Hanging down in the bowl. He had the computer right between his knees. Even if just for a second, everyone saw his over-the-hill nuts and dong hanging in the toilet bowl. It's very funny. Is that up on our web? We got things on our website now. Is that working now?
Yes, we do, but I didn't see that.
Oh, I sent it to you.
What's great about the video, other than an old man's testicles and penis on full display, is everyone at the city council meeting trying not to laugh their balls off over what they had just seen.
That's a view you just don't want.
Whoever that moderator was, oh man, he was trying so hard not to laugh when he was talking.
Dude was struggling.
Yeah, he was.
Struggling.
He's like trying to talk and he's thinking, is this really happening right now?
That's fun. Come on, Ashley, get that up on the website. And people will be enjoying themselves this morning, no question.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
The Oilers were your pick from the outset. What do you think of them so far?
Well, they played great in game one, but they didn't win. Bobrovsky was, sorry. That's okay. I'm sorry. He was freaking amazing. I apologize, y'all kids at home.
What, Charles Barkley is going to the Stanley Cup final games, or what?
Like to hang out and get a little foul.
Charles, there go Charles at the hockey game, huh? Well, he's fun. Wherever he goes, he's fun. So I'm glad he's joining the mix there. What do we got going on? Real quick, I'll tell you this, I'll tell you that. But first, I needed to talk to my guy Cubby. Got a text message that relates to you, Josh. You mentioned again a few minutes ago that you keep having these feelings, these thoughts that you want to get a motorcycle again.
It just started. It hadn't been that way for a long time.
I told you no.
Yeah, you did.
And I mean it. I don't need to go work for my brother-in-law at the friggin' Chrysler plant. I need to keep this gig, so I prefer you don't go get a motorcycle. We don't need you going out like that.
Yeah, I'll skip it.
Good. The text message from Stillers fan Jesus. He says, when I turned 18, I told my mom I wanted a motorcycle. She said, your uncle died on a motorcycle. You can have his.
No. Anthony Jeselnik.
So funny.
Oh, that's somebody else's joke?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I like that one.
I like that guy.
Twins have won a couple in a row now. Won a couple in a row. And you'd think that maybe they can gain some steam here in the next few days with Colorado and then the Oakland Athletics. Chris Paddock looked great. And another cool moment from Royce Lewis hitting a dong into the upper tank in the 8th inning to give the Twins some breathing room. They'll go again tonight, 6:40 at Target Field against the Colorado Rockies. Ashley, your old boyfriend Louis Varland's been called up.
Oh, nice. Let's see if he can get it done this time.
Did he let you know that this was happening on Twitter or anything? Say, hey, Ashley, LOL, you know. Oh.
No, he didn't slide into my DMs about this.
You heard Charles Barkley live from the hockey game. The Florida Panthers now have a 2-games-to-rip series lead in the best-of-7 Stanley Cup final. They beat Edmonton 3-1 last night, 4-1 if you count empty net goals. Stick around, 7:30, Randy Shaver and Janel Klein will be here, and a conversation with Dick Bremer. Josh's News is coming up.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The Ed Milet Show showcases the greatest peak performers sharing their journey, knowledge, and thought leadership.
The quality of your life is really comprised of the quality of the questions you ask yourself, because the quality of the questions creates the quality of your thoughts. And so if you can begin to ask better questions in life, you could have a better life. The reason you're not growing if you're not is because you're not looking to ask a better question. And when you begin to ask the right questions, I believe you begin to get the right answers.
The Ed Milet Show is available on YouTube or wherever you listen. Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Officer Mitchell is one of our 307 officers in Minnesota that have died in line of duty, and we're not going to forget about him.
Today's memorial service in Maple Grove for Minneapolis police officer Jamal Mitchell, fatally shot late last month, will be live streamed following a law enforcement procession that will travel to the Twin Cities airport. The public service for Mitchell in the Maple Grove High School gymnasium scheduled to start at 11 a.m. It's going to last about 2 hours. After the service, an honors ceremony will be held outside the school where law enforcement officers will fall into formation and military jets will conduct a flyover. Thousands of police officers from across the state, region, and even nation are expected to join family and friends for the memorial. Shortly after 2 p.m., Mitchell's body will be escorted in a procession from the high school to the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. The procession route of more than 30 miles, starting in the city that Mitchell called home in the Twin Cities, is largely along 2 major Twin Cities freeways, which includes areas for the public to view from overpasses. It runs along Interstate 494, then heads east on 62 before arriving at the airport. Organizers declined to explain what happens after the procession reaches the airport. However, Mitchell was raised and lived most of his life in Connecticut, where he still has family.
That'll be a hell of a show.
Yeah, it'll be a nice service they have for him. A man was arrested in downtown Orlando after assaulting a random guy because he wouldn't sell him drugs. And that set him off. June 1st, police were flagged down by 54-year-old Robert Lewis, who alleged that he was jumped by a group of males. But when firefighters arrived on the scene, Lewis was the one that was uncooperative and began shouting derogatory terms toward the crowd of people he claimed beat him up. Lewis was asked by the firefighters to stop using derogatory language, and he told them to F off.
God dang.
And then he spit on a firefighter.
Can't do that.
Attempted to walk away. The man Lewis claimed had assaulted him told police that Lewis had demanded to buy drugs from him while holding a stick, threatening to use it against him if he didn't sell him the drugs that he didn't have. When the man told Lewis he wasn't a drug dealer, Lewis picked up a brick and started chasing him.
Did he not hear he didn't hear that part?
Yeah,
I'm not a drug dealer?
I would give you drugs if I had drugs.
Be happy to.
I don't use drugs and I don't sell drugs.
But that's not enough for this guy.
Now, it turns out he actually didn't get beat up. He just fell on his own and hit his head on the pavement. Bystanders intervened to stop him from assaulting the dude who was not a drug dealer.
Dang.
I'd wonder, what is it about me that looks like a drug dealer? And how do I change that so this doesn't happen again?
I don't think I give off that drug dealer vibe.
No, you definitely don't.
Yeah, you look like a narc.
Yeah, you give off a narc vibe.
We haven't quite figured out what vibe you're going for. You make it very difficult.
Yeah, it's not a drug dealer vibe, though.
You dress like an 11-year-old going to what do they call those things? Like a autograph a rally.
Yeah, like Twins Fest for the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the term there I'm missing? Like a sports memorabilia show.
Sure.
That's how you dress.
Yeah, you look like the kid that just had the best birthday party ever. And you put on all the clothes your family bought you.
Yay!
Dana's starting to become a sports fan. Let's get him sports stuff.
I like Buffalo.
Go team!
Yeah. That's the best analogy I've ever heard in my life. A kid who just had the best birthday ever. That's perfect.
A woman was arrested after robbing a Wisconsin ice cream shop Thursday afternoon. According to the complaint, an employee was in the shop and referred to as Victim 1. She said the 45-year-old suspect walked into the store and said she needed $80 for gas. Must have had a big tank. Victim 1 told police the woman ordered AirPods in exchange for the $80. According to the complaint, the suspect was opening her purse to show the AirPods, and Victim 1 noticed a knife in there, and it was covered in blood.
God dang.
Victim 1 told police that the suspect pulled the knife out of her purse and told her, "This is a very good knife." According to the complaint, the robber took $80 from the cash register and then allegedly asked if they wouldn't mind giving her $800 more.
What's with the number 8 here?
I don't know.
Okay.
Apparently, she went down to $300, said, "Okay, I'll take $300. Victim 1 told police the suspect put her hand back in her purse and screamed, "Give me all the money." After she fled, police pulled the woman over and made the arrest. According to along with the suspect, a juvenile male and an adult male were also in the vehicle.
Whose blood was on the knife?
Yeah, good question.
Whose blood?
A Welsh couple who dined out on pricey meals and bolted when the bill came is now paying the price behind bars. They don't mess around in Wales. Bernard and Ann McDonough were sentenced to prison for fraud after running up tabs they didn't pay for, including 3-course meals, the finest cuts of meat, and double portions of dessert. Judge Paul Thomas said in court their dine and dash spree was driven by pure and utter greed. You were not going to these places to feed you and your family. It was criminality for criminality's sake, to see if you could get away with it, he said.
Criminality.
I have no doubt, apart from the greed element, you got a buzz out of what you were able to get away with, the judge said. Even worse, the judge said they were ruthlessly exploitative in their use of their children in the ploy.
Oh, no.
When a bank card was declined for lack of funds, they'd leave at least one of their 6 kids behind at the table. What? And they apparently went to retrieve money from a cash machine, or so they claimed. Mm-hmm. They never returned to pay up, and the children would eventually flee to a waiting vehicle. The two, who have several previous convictions and used more than 40 aliases, got caught after restaurants posted images of them on social media.
That is absolutely crazy.
So these two just really love to eat.
Yeah, and like fine dining.
And they're willing to go to prison.
They said they got a thrill out of it.
Oh my gosh. Learn how to just make some like Kraft mac and cheese at home.
That stuff's so good.
So good.
A bumbling wannabe arsonist in New Mexico mistakenly set himself on fire when he tried to torch his ex-girlfriend's house.
I suppose that's kind of the nature of the beast if you're an arsonist.
Yeah, it could happen.
You run the risk of setting yourself on fire.
He ended up fleeing the scene covered in flames after the caught-on-camera ordeal. 45-year-old Artemio Sanchez Ortega walked calmly down a residential street in Albuquerque on the night of May 24th, red gasoline can in hand, and then he hopped his ex's front gate to try and light up the house. But the floundering firebug's nefarious plan went stunningly awry when the yard erupted into a maelstrom of flames while Sanchez Ortega was still standing there.
A maelstrom?
A maelstrom.
I've never heard that word before.
Security video rolled while flames licked his shoulders and legs. Then he tripped over his own feet before running down the road and caught himself on fire, the flames clinging to his body as he fled. The neighbor whose camera captured the crime, he was pretty funny about it.
The instant karma of the situation was weirdly satisfying, but to see that he managed to get back to his truck and drive off, managed to make an escape before anyone really noticed, was unfortunate.
It was awesome watching him catch on fire. Sucks he got away. I was hoping he'd burn up right there. The suspect's ex and her children, who were inside the home at the time of the fire, were not hurt.
You probably had no idea, huh?
No, I did. Yeah, not at first, right.
Right.
The suspect's ex-girlfriend told investigators Sanchez Ortega had called her 3 times before the incident, and she could tell he'd been drinking. Meanwhile, he took off in a pickup truck, and as of press time, was still on the run. A little crispier than he was beforehand, but it's pretty great. I'm sure that guy's rewinding the footage, laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to watch.
A New York City police officer has been charged with attempted murder after authorities allege he shot another man in an apparent road rage incident in New Jersey. Here he is coming out of court.
Officer Tran, do you have anything you'd like to say? Officer Tran, what led to this?
May 17th, just after 11 p.m., officers responded to a multiple car crash and saw one of the drivers involved had a gunshot wound. Detectives used surveillance video, cell phone records, and ballistics evidence to identify 27-year-old Hai Tran as the shooter of the apparent road rage incident. That ballistic evidence from the scene was linked to his NYPD-issued firearm. Not thinking that one through.
Tell me.
The prosecutor's office said that investigation is still active and ongoing.
So did I miss something when the gal said, "Do you have anything to say?" Did he say anything?
He didn't say anything.
Oh, he didn't say anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
He must have had nothing to say.
I suppose.
Anoka's popular social district pilot program, creating a limited area where people 21 or older can drink alcohol in the streets and parks out of specifically marked plastic cups, is expanding to 2 more Minnesota cities.
For me, it's a great idea.
It's like, oh my gosh, I can stop there and have a beer and just kind of walk around and check things out. I think it's great.
It just kind of makes sense to do something like this downtown.
Social districts in Shakopee and Stillwater have been approved by the state during the final days of the latest legislative session.
Great. 2 places I would never go.
The new approvals, pending sign-offs from local officials, could have Stillwater and Shakopee launching their own social districts as soon as late summer 2025.
These are 2 of the cities that were probably the most passionate and persistent in trying to get the zone. They were trying to get it back when Anoka got approved. It's really been about a 2-year process trying to move this thing forward.
Downtown Anoka was the first Minnesota city to get the social district approval, while the first year allowed the social district to exist for 30 days. This year's launched May 1st and will run through October 6th with expanded boundaries as well as concerts, food trucks, lively 69ing, and other programming planned throughout the summer.
I like my 69ing to be described as lively.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Have any of you, because for me the answer is no, have any of you ever made a good decision when in Anoka?
No.
I think I've made a good decision by never hanging out in Anoka.
I did some things. I did. But it just kind of comes with the territory, you know what I'm saying?
In Anoka? I enjoy Anoka.
In friggin' Anoka, yeah.
Mosquito numbers are above average in the metro so far this spring, thanks to several hot spots. According to the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District, mosquito activity is more than double the 10-year average, but officials say it's similar to what happened last year, when a high number of mosquitoes hatched in the spring, but a summer drought led to a low mosquito count for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's not fun when your kids are just full of big mosquito welts.
According to officials, there are several high mosquito areas in Anoka County, Carver County, northern Washington County, and northern Dakota County. Black fly is also quite abundant in the typical hot spots.
Black
rivers.
flies?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Aren't those very bitey?
I'm not so sure which.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Skin's all ouchy.
I don't know which fly is which.
I've had 3 people come to my door in the last month asking if I want my bugs to go away.
Oh, yeah, the bug guys are all over. Did any of them ride Segways?
Dude, I was just going to say, this guy rolled up in the one-wheeler.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? And he was maybe in his 20s, and he had no cards or flyers or anything. I was like, what is this guy's bit?
How many times did you have to say no out of curiosity?
Once they hear the dogs and then hear me probably scream, shut up, stop it. They're like, all right, this is going to be a no. She's not going to be happy. So just once.
I used to have that problem until the friggin' wife went out and bought a sign that we have on the door that simply says no soliciting.
I need one of those. Except I want, in parentheses to say, except if you have Girl Scout cookies.
You'll allow that in there?
Yeah. I don't want them to pass my house.
Girl Scouts come to the house?
Yeah.
Oh, I always just
see them at the grocery store parking lot.
Yeah. I see them at Lowe's.
There's
they're not always happy to see me. But
yeah, we get Girl Scouts to come to the house.
I run into them at Lowe's, Cubby.
The Metropolitan Mosquito Control District sets out traps Monday nights throughout the spring and summer and collects data every Tuesday. So tomorrow we'll find out what's going on.
Every Tuesday, they know it's data collection day.
Yeah.
That must be comforting
I'm sure.
on a Monday night.
Out there setting the traps.
They just know what's coming. Okay.
Former Lynx player Maya Moore, 35 today. Game of Thrones star Peter Dinklage, 55. Dr. House, Hugh Laurie, a decade older today at 65.
Oh.
Shout out to Travis Palmer at Palmer Soderbergh, listening this morning. Happy birthday to Jack, a.k.a. Boss Man of 10,000 Takes from your buddy, day late, 2 inches short Jesus. Happy birthday to Tig Princess Jesus. And that's 93X News.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there.
Oh, my goodness gracious. There it goes!
On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
KK, I've been around the team and a lot of the star power inside that locker room, but you guys are very close-knit ball club. Where does that come from after this play? Trying to backhand, and it looked like he got caught in between hop.
Bounce the other way.
Yeah, bounced the other way and tried to use his free hand to knock that down.
There you go. My God, that rock and roll is turned up loud. It is. Kiki Hernandez. Does he still play for the Los Angeles Dodgers? Who can help me out with that? Is it Kiki? Plays for the... nobody knows. State of baseball, my ass. They had him mic'd up the other night, and camera focused on... they did the on-field interviews. So he's mic'd up, and then he kicked the ball across the infield, committed an error, and everybody laughed and laughed. It's Randy Shaver, home again from a wild swingers getaway in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello, Randy.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
Oh, just awesome.
You do? You feel great?
Yeah, rejuvenated.
Good. And our Tuesday people are here. Janel Klein. Hello, Janel.
Oh, you got to turn your mic on.
Turn that mic on. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Wait, are you on the wrong mic?
Try that one.
Try,
Rookie.
Go to that guy. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it's working.
No.
We'll find Janel here eventually.
Hey.
What's going on?
What is going on?
Well, technical difficulties happens every day.
Jeez.
And as always, we're very pleased to welcome the mayor into the mix. The mayor of Minnesota baseball, Dick Bremer. Hey, Dick, how you doing?
We're doing okay. Actually, I'm still recovering. I played my first games for my senior baseball team on Saturday, and as you might expect, getting the lactic acid worn through my body.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot about the senior baseball league. So you're recovering. Can we watch this on video? Please tell me this is on YouTube or something.
I think I've paid off enough people to make sure that there is no video recording of.
God dang. So how did you do? Tell us what position you were playing and how you did at the plate and everything.
Well, I played first base and pitched and did okay. I pitched and the first inning went okay. Second inning, not so much.
Okay. And how old do you have to be on this club or in this league?
I'm in the 60 and over group.
Okay.
So we're playing against similar senior people and all that. It was an awful lot of fun. It was just an absolute blast. First time I stepped in the batter's box, I felt like I was 15 years old again.
That's awesome.
Who's the oldest cat you saw out there?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think when you get to this age, you don't ask each other's age too much.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Well, that's.
Well, we have a woman who's on the team, and she got a nice base hit and great catch and a double play, and it just was an absolute blast.
That sounds awesome. I'm so again glad you brought it up. Randy Shaver, why don't you? You're about ready to retire. Why don't you join the senior baseball league?
Yeah, sounds fun. I'd love to. I'm not ready to do that now. Maybe next summer. Maybe next summer would be the summer for me to start.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I got 8 years. Dick, if you can make it 8 more years, I'd love to be on the field with you.
Oh, the chances of that happening are so small.
God dang it.
I'm still going to be playing baseball.
Of Nick making it or you making it?
That's a coin flip on my end, too, isn't it, Randy?
Yes.
Because I abuse myself so badly. Well, it's good to have you back. Dick, when's the last time you went out to Las Vegas, Nevada? Randy just got home from Las Vegas.
Yeah, I used to go almost on an annual basis, but I haven't been there in, 20 years, something like that.
What drew you in year after year? You like to gamble and such?
A little bit, yeah. And the shows. I saw Elton John perform out there one year, so that was really cool. I mean, it's maybe it's not as true as it used to be, but it's unlike any other place in the world in terms of what's available to you out there, and just the whole vibe out there was very, very unique, and it's a little less so with the casinos popping up all over the country now, too.
Yeah. Randy went to an underground sex club.
Yeah.
I did not go to an underground sex club. Don't say that.
You can't prove that you didn't.
Don't say that.
It was above ground.
It had a basement.
It was at street level?
What about it was right on grade?
Perfect grade.
Yeah.
What about Nashville? Everyone and their mother loves to go to Nashville now.
Love it.
Dick Bremer,
Love
you got any thoughts on that city?
Yeah, I went to Nashville once, and I was out there for Gopher basketball, and went to the big Saturday night performance in Nashville, and that was really cool. That too, kind of a unique vibe in that town as well.
I just don't like to travel that much. I don't. I hate everything about it.
If you're going to travel, those are two good places to travel to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to do when you get there.
I'm just going to stay here and work on my game until I turn 60 and go join the senior baseball club.
Get you in the batting cage to get some cuts in.
I mean, that just really, it sounds like a great time. Okay, here we go. The Twins have won a couple.
It does sound fun.
Yeah. Twins have won a couple in a row now, and Randy and the rest of us were talking about this yesterday. The table is kind of set for them to climb a little farther past the 500 mark here with some home games against a couple of, should I call them troubled ball clubs. They shut out Colorado last night 5-0 at Target Field. Chris Paddock looked great on the bump, and we got to see another cool moment from Royce Lewis.
I think we talked about it last week, right? He was about ready to rejoin the team in New York, and he just has a flair for the dramatic, and he homered in his first, after walking a couple of times, I guess, he homered in his first at-bat at Yankee Stadium last week, and then his first game at Target Field last night, and he gets a home run late in the game that gave him some breathing room.
That was really cool. He has gone yard 4 times in his 7 games this season. He's just a dangerous hitter, and he's so much fun to watch. Chris Paddock looked very sharp last night after not looking so sharp in New York, but the Yankees do that to a lot of guys. One thing I've noticed this year, Randy Shaver, Dick Bremer, is the velocity is impressive with Chris Paddock this year as opposed to last year.
And it's interesting how it got to that point. He credits Cole Sands, a relief pitcher the Twins have, for noticing a mechanical thing, and it just goes back to how extensively video is being used now. And it's not just video of game action, it's video of bullpen sessions and all of that. And apparently Cole Sands, who has increased his velocity a little bit, gave Paddock a tip, and from there the fastball's picked up a couple miles per hour.
I like what I've seen so far from Paddock, especially considering what he's been through.
And also considering that Pablo Lopez has struggled as badly as he struggled here, it's nice that Paddock's been able to pick up some of that slack, and Simeon Woods-Richardson has also been pretty good lately because Lopez has just not been very good. So.
Yeah, it's been tough. Dick, do you want to talk at all about, while we're on the topic of velocity, you want to talk at all about what marks you were hitting out on the bump over the weekend?
I told somebody for years now, decades now, when you watch a sporting event, the replays are done in slow motion. The live action was in slow motion on Sunday, including the pitches. The first inning for me went okay, but then the second inning was a struggle. But it's what you would expect, and we're out there playing and having an absolute blast, right? And there's no real. I mean, there's competition, but the guys on the other team, and so it's a very friendly game. But I really feel for the people, wives, girlfriends, significant others, kids that are stuck watching this, because it was about 4 hours of slow motion baseball.
Well, it's kind of like
the speed of the game is all relative, right? I mean, it may look slow to the viewer, but to the player, it probably doesn't feel as slow as that.
No, we were playing. We were running as hard as we always ran. It's just, it's not as fast as it used to be.
Yeah, it feels like. It feels like you're just giving her hell, and the crowd.
Oh man, you should have seen me try to stay out of the double play. Man, I was barreling down the line.
Big takeout slide.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, no, I was burning it down the line, but it just took a lot longer to get there. It seemed like. Because I hadn't played baseball in quite a few years, it seemed like the bases were 120 feet apart instead of 90.
Yeah, I can believe it. How many pitches do you have in the?
When I last pitched 5 years ago, I actually had 3 pitches. In quotation marks, a fastball, and then a curve and a changeup. But I had a hard time getting even my fastball over the plate. But we'll get a little muscle memory back, and hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, it'll come. I threw a curveball. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I felt my elbow pop. And that was the end of that. And I could put a pretty good bend on that sumbitch, Janel Klein. I really could.
bet.
I could. It was like a Barry Zito type of a thing, just a big looping, and then my elbow popped. Anyway, what do we got going on? 6:40 tonight at Target Field. They'll play Game 2 with the Rockies. And the Twins called up Ashley's second-grade flavor of the month boyfriend, Louis Varland from St. Paul, to start tonight's game, which is great. I'm happy that Louis back in the mix.
He got off to a rough start, and then Simeon Woods Richardson came up and has done everything that the Twins were hoping Louis would do. But now Louis will get another chance, and there'll be others down the road. There are 5 teams in the league that have a better record than the Twins right now, so they're actually in pretty good shape. But they're going to need the pitching depth that they've got down in St. Paul and maybe even down in Wichita. To get through the season. They've got 13 games in 13 days, and so they're just going to try to take it easy and give Lopez and some others an extra day between starts.
Okay. Cal Quantrill starts the second game of the series for Colorado. Is that the son of, don't tell me, was it Paul?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And he really gave the Twins fits when he was with the Cleveland team. And so they looked good at the plate last night, using the whole field and getting some big hits and all that, but I expect Quantrill will give him some trouble again tonight.
All right, okay.
Yeah, he's actually had a pretty good year.
He's a prodigy. Is that the word, Cubby? Prodigy? Son of a... Okay. Legacy? Whatever. Dick Bremer got a text message here. Do you know a guy named Smilin' Dave? He says he plays baseball with you in the senior league. Smilin' Dave.
Yep.
You know Smilin' Dave? Smilin' Dave texted in, said all kinds of good things about you. I hate to tell you this, but he sent us a link to a website.
Here we go.
I don't know if he's going to have any video on there. You kind of sounded like you wanted to keep it a secret, but he sent us a link to the website. And there's lineups and schedules. Oh, Christ, all of us are going to end up supporting you one Saturday out there, Dick.
That'd be fun. That'd be so fun.
What kind of beer should we bring in the cooler? What kind of what was that beer you were talking about last time again? Iron Fox? What was that?
Fox Deluxe?
Fox Deluxe, yeah. Not the Iron Fox. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, no, Fox Deluxe. And then you take a sip of that stuff and you think, this is the deluxe part?
Yeah. We'll have to show up with a cooler kit full of beer for one of Dick's ball games. And Smilin' Dave says the oldest guy you got out there is 73. Well, Randy's older than that. Randy, you can get out there and...
I'm not 73.
73. Dick Bremer, Randy.
73.
Do you feel 73?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, from what you did to yourself in Vegas.
Coming off the Vegas high, I feel a little older than usual.
What does everybody think of? Let's see if Dick Bremer even knows what I'm talking about here, because I barely do. What does everyone think of the new drip?
So stupid looking.
Okay,
they're fine.
Uniform.
The new uniforms. That's how you say it these days. The Twins have some new alternate uniforms, which you need to produce. It seems in professional sports, you need to produce a new uniform every 3 or 4 weeks. So more money can be spent. The new uniforms. Ashley says you don't like. You said they're stupid.
I hate them. We look like we're the Chargers, or like we match the Metro Transit. I
thought they kind of look like soccer uniforms.
Okay, have you seen them, Janelle?
I saw one picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ambivalent. I don't know.
Somebody pointed out they look like IKEA bags with the blue and yellow.
Yeah. Somebody also posted that they look like they work at Best Buy.
Yeah, they got a blue and gold.
The hat, the logo on the hat, that's really cool. I like that.
The hat's the best part for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've talked uniforms on this show before, and I think we all kind of prefer just the basics and the old school. But this is what they do. They'll wear these new City Connect uniforms is what they call them. They're going to wear them for the first time this Friday. So I imagine Ashley will.
I do like the fact that in the Twins case, I think they were trying to make it a State Connect uniform. They said as much, and it's water themed and all that with a loon on the sleeve, I guess. And the Twins are one of the last teams to have those uniforms, and I think they debut Friday night at Target Field in terms of when the players are going to wear them for the first time.
Yeah. Ashley will not be buying tickets to that ball game.
The thing is I think I'm going to be there on Friday. I'll be angry in the seats.
You'll get drunk and buy the hat, the jersey.
Yeah, she'll be back with everything on Monday.
Just geared up. A pennant. You'll be waving a pennant above your head.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they're going to wear them every Friday and then select Saturdays, too.
Oh, but it's going to be a weekend thing. Okay. All right. All right. I hate to bring up the Yankees, but I got here something cute. They got one of the top pitching rotations in baseball, and Garrett Cole hasn't even suited up yet, right? Frustrating.
Yep.
One unusual clubhouse gimmick might have something to do with their success. Yankees pitchers have begun to decorate the home clubhouse with scented candles.
Oh, my.
Probably makes it smell a little bit better in there than usual.
Sure. They say here as many as a half dozen candles are lit at all times.
There's going to be a fire.
Or a seance.
What was the character in Major League that set the
Serrano.
Yeah, Pedro Serrano.
Serrano, yeah.
Pedro Serrano.
And the shame of it all is if any starting pitcher should have put scented candles around the clubhouse, it was probably Bert Blyleven.
Yes.
Wait, we've heard rumors.
I was going to say, where were those scented candles when you were working with Bert?
Yeah.
For all those years. This is their gimmick. The tradition started with Marcus Stroman, who burned scented candles at home, wanted to bring that sense of calm with him to the stadium. He's one of those guys that believes in, what's the term? A vibe. I can't think of the term. He's one of those guys. So the rest of the rotation started bringing candles, and they kept winning. And it made the clubhouse smell nice. Clark Schmidt, a member of the Yankees pitching staff, his mother runs a boutique in Georgia, and she has been sending them buckets and boxes of scented candles. Position players are getting involved. They're adamant that that they are now candle experts, all of them. And they're making decisions on what scents to go with without the assistance of their mothers or their wives, they say. So there's a scented candle group. What's the word I was looking for?
Like Zen or?
Yeah, that's it. What's that word they use? Oh, the blank is all off with this room. The
Feng Shui?
Feng Shui, yeah. That's it, yeah. The first time somebody said that to me, I said, what? So there you go, the scented candles thing. I don't know. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever works for you. Bryce Harper says that the Big League Baseball should pause the season for the Olympics. He wants to play in 28. What do you guys think of that idea, pausing baseball for a couple weeks in July, when baseball is, usually
have a World Series game on Christmas Eve?
Don't know. What do you guys think? Because they've never used the big leaguers in the Olympics, correct? Anyone know the answer?
I guess I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, first
I think Doug Mankiewicz won a gold medal, but I think he was a minor leaguer at the time.
Yep. I believe
he came up with the Twins.
Right. So, okay. They've been playing these international games now. The Yankees and the Mets and Phillies played an international game in London here recently. So Harper was playing for the Phillies, and during that series he expressed interest in playing in the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. I don't know.
I suppose if they planned ahead of time, they could figure out a way to do weekend doubleheaders and things like that to make up for the 2 weeks that they would pause the season, and maybe move it around, start a week earlier than normal or a few days earlier than normal, stretch it at the end a few days later than normal. The problem is that when weather becomes a factor during the course of the year and then games are postponed and then have to be made up,
you need that wiggle
room. You
room.
Really start to you start to pile things up. But I can understand their interest in wanting to play. I mean, Major League Baseball is such an international game right now that it would be kind of fun to see all these guys playing for their respective countries in the Olympics. I think that would be great.
Okay, what about you, Dick Bremer?
Well, we'd have to pitch to Shohei then, right? Playing for Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, taking 2 weeks off in the middle of the season, I don't think that'll ever happen for, just think back to 1991. We were in the Dome, of course, but we had the big blizzard a couple days after the World Series ended, and you just can't. You can't push you can't start it any earlier, right? Because we're playing in late March now, at the very beginning of the season, and then you can't go into November too far for fear of running into bad weather. So I don't. It's a nice idea, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
I still like the idea of amateurs in the Olympics. I know this is many years ago. You started throwing pros into the basketball Olympics, but I still like the idea of amateurs. I mean, the Miracle on Ice wouldn't have been a miracle if it was all the top. You know what I'm saying? So I still like that gimmick.
No, you're right.
Right. Currently, only amateurs and professional players not on a 40-man roster are allowed to participate in the Olympics. USA's roster in 2020 was minor league journeymen and a few top prospects, and I liked that. So,
and baseball's still trying to promote the WBC every 3 years in March, and that's international competition. And I think that's where baseball's focus would be right now, trying to continue to promote that and develop that into their version of the Olympics.
Yeah, right. I've enjoyed the World Baseball Classic. Even Bryce Harper here said, I've talked to numerous people about going to the Olympics. I would love to be part of that. We have the WBC, but it's not the same. The Olympics is something you dream.
Of course it's not the same, because for those 2 weeks, once your competition is done, you're in the Olympic Village. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
Oh, no. We all know what happens in the Olympic Village. All right, one more note here. It'll be a busy summer for Jim Leland. He is being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, but the Tigers announced that they're going to retire his number coming up in August. So he'll be honored. He'll be honored just within a few weeks. Baseball Hall of Fame, and then having his number retired with the Tigers. One of my favorite all-time characters in baseball history would be Jim Leland.
And there's video out there, and I still need to watch it every couple of months of when he was managing the Pittsburgh Pirates, lighting into Barry Bonds around the batting cage in spring training.
Yes, I've seen it. It's awesome.
Oh, man, I know what you're talking about, yeah. I don't know. Those days have come and gone, I think, right? Where a manager just unloads into a guy like that. I don't know.
And who was, at the time, I think he'd won a league MVP already at that point with Pittsburgh. was a smaller version of what he became in terms of his physique. But, yeah, I mean, can you imagine Tom Kelly? It would never happen, right? Tom Kelly, ripping into Kirby Puckett in full of view of the teammates and TV cameras and all that. And Leland wanted to make sure everybody, including Barry Bonds, knew who the boss was.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. I know exactly the video you're talking about. I've just always had a crush on Jim Leland. I think he's just such a good old guy, and I liked him burning heaters in the dugout and whatnot. And in 1997, he wins the series managing the Florida Marlins, and I know they were kind of like a bunch of rented superstars, the Florida Marlins were in 1997. They just went and got everybody. They just pulled everybody out from under their roster and said, we're going to win now. I know, and that's kind of an unattractive thing for some fans, but I'll never forget the look on Leland's face when he won the series was a beautiful thing. He just had a look on his face like he was a kid all over again. It was a cool thing. So I'm
looking forward. I'm going to be going to Cooperstown principally because Joe Mauer is going to be inducted, of course, but Leland will be a part of the induction class in Cooperstown too, and I'll look forward to his speech. I know Jim a little bit, and I'm guessing he'll get quite emotional during his speech. Yeah,
he's an emotional guy. He is. Oh, that'll be great. I'm looking forward to that now, too. Bring a cigarette lighter with you in case he needs a light. That'd be kind of nice. You see him plop one in his mouth, and you reach out. No, I got that for you. Hall of Famer. There you go. All right, Dick Bremer. Thanks as usual, man. It's always fun.
We'll talk again next Tuesday.
Absolutely. And good luck out on the ball field next weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dick Bremer. Oh, man, we got to go to a ball game, you guys.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
that'd
be fun.
They have some Saturday games that look nice.
We got to go to a ball game.
That would be fun.
Where do they play?
I don't know.
We all got to get matching T-shirts, too.
They kind
Fan
of play
club or something.
They kind of play all over.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they got some St. Louis Park, Albertville.
Oh, really? You've got a schedule in front of you?
Yeah.
I got to get involved in this.
It's got all the venues on there.
Part of the reason why I quit beer league softball and hockey is because, college kids kept showing up. You know what I mean? And we never could get enough guys to commit to playing 40 and up or 45 and up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are too many guys in our club that had too much pride.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't want to be involved. They thought that was chicken-esque or whatever to play in the old time. 10 minutes after I turned 40, I was looking it up on the internet. Where do I find the 40?
Yeah.
But we never could find enough guys to commit. That sounds like such a fun thing. And if I am still breathing when I'm 60 years old, I would love to try that. So,
that would be fun.
All right, Randy Shaver, Mr. Almost Retired. Soon
you're getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there. Is it 4? Still 4?
5.5. I work 2 days this week, and then it's off till the last week of the month.
Wow. How are we supposed to assimilate the jersey number to 5.5? I don't.
Well, I said 6 the other day. It's still Tony Oliva.
All right. Soon you're going to have all the free time you need to say, we were just talking about this a minute ago, you'll have all the free time you need to say, watch the Summer Olympics. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to be done. And the timing is perfect because Randy Shaver, breakdancing is set to make its debut at the Paris Olympics.
Oh, my God.
Woohoo!
For real?
Yeah. Breakdancing.
Yes.
I'm pumped about this.
And a year ago or so, we had this
have a dance party.
Randy Shaver was absolutely adamant against breakdancing being included into the. Whenever we first started talking about it, we had a lot of fun busting your chops. You do not think this belongs.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Janelle, if we got the cardboard out, could you do some breakdancing moves for us?
God, no.
Oh my
There's
God.
no dancing for me.
There'd be a lot of breaking happening.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Randy. But I love this idea. They're going to bring cardboard and show up and just start.
I don't see.
I think it'll be more legit than that. But
I don't know.
I've never seen it done in an organized, competitive fashion. Organized. I've certainly, when we were kids, it would happen on a street corner, and it was hilarious. It would happen at my junior high a lot. There was a couple weeks. I mean, breakdancing was hotter than hell, but it was very brief. So. And an example of that would be, for a couple of weeks when I was a 7th grader, we would finish our lunches as quickly as possible so we could go out into this kind of not a playground, but just this kind of empty area outside the school. We would finish our lunches as quickly as possible because 2 kids at my school, Pat and Steve, every day had a break dancing competition between the 2 of them.
Were they any good?
Yeah. I mean, what did I know? But yeah, they knew how to do this and that. I mean, but I was no judge of. But sure, I remember them being good. But after 2 weeks, we were all burned out on it, and it never happened again. That's kind of the story of breakdancing. It was everywhere for a while. They made some bad movies, and then it was over.
I want to know how they're going to judge this.
I thought I had something here. Oh, maybe I don't.
That's probably the same way they judge any dance competition, right?
Well, yeah, like how they judge rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah, who the hell do they get to do that?
Thing,
you know,
right?
But I feel like that where you get degrees of difficulty, right? Aren't there certain moves where you get more points? Or,
I imagine it will be similar to what you're saying. The moves will be judged on degree of difficulty.
Yeah, you whip out a head spin, you're winning. You're going gold.
A face slide's definitely going to get you more points than a coffee grinder.
Well, what about the worm? Is that just kind of too easy?
Yeah, that's kind of like in the middle, I'd say.
All right, Wapple, I have seen a face slide.
Yeah.
And was it the same place where you first saw it in that friggin' wrestling match where they were breakdancing in the? Remember that guy?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Okay, now I don't know. What is a coffee grinder?
You know where the one leg kind of spins around and you kind of hop over it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that move.
That's what we would call the coffee grinder.
Dude, tell me if I've lost my mind or this is the liquor talking. You kind of. One of your legs, and then don't you kind of go down and land on your ass?
Yeah.
Didn't Frank Drebin make that move when he was impersonating the umpire in the movie The Naked Gun? Yes, he did.
Yes.
He kind of does a little weepity boop with his leg, and then he gets.
Yeah.
Is that not one of the funniest scenes in movie history? When he calls strike 3 and he begins breakdancing.
Exactly.
And he was Enrico Palazzo, the singer, and then he had to. They're calling breakdancing one of the most anticipated new sports at the upcoming Olympics.
Do you think the underground breakdance crews throw shade at the people going to the Olympics?
Yes.
Like they sold out.
Oh, yeah. You guys are too organized.
They went mainstream.
Bring that to the street, they're saying.
Yeah.
Sure, you're all fancy schmancy in Paris at the Olympics. Bring it to the street.
Oh, I could see a movie coming. You know, one crew, they break off and they get the Olympic gold medal, and then someone's like, "Oh, you think you're tough?" And then they break dance.
Has everyone seen Breakin' and the sequel Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Sure.
No.
Yeah. Breakin' 2 I thought was the superior movie, Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, I saw both those.
The world champion in breakdancing is someone named Jeffrey Lewis. Maybe you want to look him up and see what he can do. He is one of the favorites to earn a medal, obviously, because he's the world champion. I don't know where and when he was decided the world champion, but Jeffrey Lewis. Sounds like an American. I can't be sure. Yeah, that same year, 7th grade, Janel Klein. Breakdancing was everywhere. This is 1984. Uh-huh. And, one of my buddies, who now is... in an insane asylum. He loved it. He just loved it. All he wanted to do was break dance and talk about breakdancing and play the Beastie Boys. He came to school one day. This is when I knew he'd gone too far. He came to school one day, and he had taken a magic marker and written on his Vans. He wore white Vans. He wrote on the sole of the shoe, kind of on the side. He had written out in black magic marker, Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. So he dedicated a pair of his shoes
to the movie.
To the movie, yeah.
Did he have a boombox?
Oh, yeah.
And brought it to school?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
That was a cool move. Kids that would rest it on their shoulder.
Yes. Oh.
He loved that first Beastie Boys record, Licensed to Ill. Oh, we got so sick of it. We got so sick of it, I think we finally just crushed his boombox with a bat. We were so sick. Every day we went to his house. What was it? Monkey?
Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey. Finally we said, dude, enough! Just stop it. And he's the one who went nuts. He would have thought the rest of us would have went nuts. I did like No Sleep Till Brooklyn, though. You can't argue with that one. That was a good one. No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Josh?
Yeah, I'm a fan. I liked him back in the day.
I love that line from No Sleep Till Brooklyn where they say, our manager's crazy. He always smokes dust. He's got his own room at the back of the bus. Stanley Cup Game 2 went to the Florida Panthers. They win 3-1, 4-1 if you count empty net goals. Randy Shaver, they have a 2-0 series lead on the Edmonton Oilers.
They look pretty dominant.
Yeah, they're really good. Mm-hmm. They're really freaking good.
I think you talked about the other day that they're pretty deep, and that we're seeing that from how they play, and that goaltender has just been fantastic. So Edmonton's got their work cut out for them if they want to stay in this series. The series shifts back to Edmonton starting, I think, tomorrow night. So,
and a listener gave me a heads up on something before the series started. I haven't watched much hockey all year long. Just haven't. Listener told me, look for Kyle Oposo out there on the Florida Panthers roster. And I texted, I said, that dude still plays? Kyle Oposo.
That makes me feel young.
Yeah.
And I saw him out there, quite a bit, a third, fourth liner. Yeah. But, and unfortunately, he's one of the long list of guys that played for the Golden Gophers, and they left after a year because they could go play in the pro. That dude was one hell of a player when he was young. And obviously, he's still got it. He's still out there. I'm not trying to take anything away from his current skill set. But that was one of those Golden Gophers where you say, damn, if he would have stuck around for 4 years, I imagined it's a shame. I hate that gimmick. I know it's a thing now. But wow, was he great.
That's also where that depth comes from, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is bringing in players like that to play on your third and fourth lines just to give you that added depth and experience. So
the win came with a price.
Shows itself.
Yeah, that's where the depth shows itself. The win came with a price for Florida. One of their top guys, a kid by the name of Alexander Barkov, their captain, he left the game when the Oilers' Leon Draisaitl launched an elbow into Barkov's Finnish yapper. No word yet on how he's feeling. The good news is these SAWFT soft bastards don't play again till Thursday. Florida's head coach Paul Maurice had an interesting comment on the Draisaitl hit on Barkov. Does anyone even know what I'm talking about? Fair enough. Paul Maurice, the head coach of Florida, they wanted a comment from him on the Draisaitl hit on Barkov. I'll just tell you this much. He drove an elbow into his yap, and he did leave his feet. Now, I'm not complaining because I love that kind of stuff, but he did leave his feet and drove an elbow into his yap. Paul Maurice said, "This isn't the Oprah Winfrey show. My feelings don't matter."
Okay.
Teams that start the final down 2-rip have come back to win only 5 times in 54 previous situations. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, Randy, are you happy that at least for now it seems like Connecticut college basketball coach Dan Hurley is turning down the Los Angeles Lakers' offer to be their new head coach?
Well, he has turned it down.
He has.
And he's going back to college. I read a couple articles about this, and one of them said that, and I don't know if this is true, that this was an orchestrated effort by Dan Hurley. And I'll just kind of lay it out what the article said.
Okay.
And I'm paraphrasing here, but Hurley apparently, or someone close to Hurley, leaked the information out to a trusted journalist that he was going to meet with the Lakers about this job. He does meet with the Lakers. They make an offer. Obviously, it's what, $70 million, something like that, for 5 years. Something. I don't remember the exact numbers. The whole intent was to not take the job, but to get the offer out there publicly, and then turn around and have UConn, renegotiate or redo his deal at UConn.
Scare him a little bit.
He really did. Yep, that he really didn't have the intent of going to the NBA.
Scare a few more dollars.
True.
Yeah, scare a few more dollars out of UConn's pockets.
Yep, that's, again, I don't know if that's true. This is what the article was saying, that, the person who leaked the story, who put it out there first, he and Hurley have a good relationship, that this might have been somewhat orchestrated. Bottom line is the Lakers actually put themselves out there to hire Dan Hurley, and it didn't work. I'm reading ESPN.com this morning where the headline says Lakers are embarrassed now, but because this was an interesting hire considering that they fired Darvin Ham, who got him to the playoffs, and we all talked about how LeBron supposedly pulls all the strings. And
supposedly,
this would have been an interesting hire for sure.
Yeah,
had this happened, but it didn't, and so now what direction do they go? Hurley's better off, right? I mean, Hurley loves college basketball. He's a great college basketball coach. He's got an outstanding program. Obviously, he's won the title 2 years in a row. So, he's fine. This whole thing,
sounds kind of sleazy.
Well for him. But the Lakers, it didn't work out very well. And so now they've got to try to figure out where to go from here. And we've heard this, we've seen so many of these coaches get recycled all the time inside the NBA circle. And I'm not sure who's out there right now that the Lakers could choose to be their next head coach. So,
well, smart move. If everything you're saying is true, smart move on Hurley's part to drag a few more bucks out of the pockets of his current employer, but it sounds kind of shady at the same time. And if he's going to act like that, here's what I read. He's been offered free wings for life by a Connecticut restaurant for rejecting the Lakers. Well, if he's going to act, don't give him free wings. He's got $50 million. Don't give this douche free wings.
Yeah, he can pay.
Yeah, he can pay for his stinking wings. Here's another headline. Lakers head coaching job viewed negatively within the NBA. Well, yeah. Because LeBron is the real leader, and they have ridiculous fan expectations. Their fans are idiots.
And then you have to also deal with the fact, okay, do I draft LeBron's kid now at his
yes,
because he wants to?
That's a part of this equation.
You got to deal with that crap.
Yep. It just seems like a mess. I'd stay in UConn and get free wings.
Right. When you coach a veteran team like the Lakers are, then, those guys are not going to play 82 games. They're just not going to. And so it's not like you have Anthony Edwards sitting there who's, 22 years old and a superstar in his own right, who's going to play 82 games likely for you, or pretty close to 82. LeBron may play 60 or 62 or whatever, and Anthony Davis may only play, you know what I mean? So you're going to have to piece together a lot of stuff out there. You can't depend on those guys to play every game for you or close to every game. So there's a lot that goes into that job for sure. And obviously the expectations, as you talked about,
ridiculous
with the fan base, and then also within the team itself.
Yeah.
And the veterans.
Magic Johnson up your ass all night long. He still can't let it go. Magic. Is he working for the team? I don't remember. Anyway, what do you think of this? But you didn't mean to, how do I say this? But you didn't mean to, Jesus, I guess. I can't.
But you didn't mean not to.
Oh, okay. But you didn't mean, simplify your friggin' name. He says, why would anyone want to coach LeBron? That's like being cuckolded. Right? You think it's your team, woman, but it's not. Someone else is going to take over and do all the pumping. It's like being cuckolded. Some typical social media, YouTube, TikTok, starved for attention dork intentionally pissed off Charles Barkley during the conference final. There's video of this. It was at Target Center.
The guy with no championship rings. He sucked at basketball. 0 rings. He had 0 rings. You're Jordan's son. Imagine not winning an NBA championship. It was the guy that has no championship rings that just won. Yeah, he has no rings.
Dude, that was so funny when you went after Charles Barkley, dude.
He's never heard that joke before.
Did you see his sunglasses, too? He's so funny and goofy
I can't
and
imagine
different.
being the kind of person who needs to heckle people who have accomplished significant things in their lives in order to make my YouTube channel more interesting.
Charles Barkley could buy his whole entire life.
Dude's wearing a Doncic jersey, and he knows that there's no way Charles's security guy would allow Charles to break his face for him. He starts chirping for never winning a title. Dude, just go do something. Do something. Because what you accomplished right there, anybody could do. You do that to Charles' face when the cameras are off and he has no security with him, then I'm impressed. Do you remember this about Charles? I do. In 91, he punched a heckler outside a bar. This is before, everyone had their cell phones pointed at, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. In 97, he threw someone through a bar window.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
He's pretty serious if you mess with him. Oh, all right. We got to get going. One final question about the Olympics. A listener said, forget about breakdancing. Will this year's Olympics produce another karate highlight where someone gets there? I don't know. We don't need it to because we still have the one from a few years ago where the guy's head came off. And I don't know.
Good luck.
Oh, my word.
That guy died.
And good luck topping that one.
Right. It doesn't need to. Maybe we will get an even better highlight. I don't know. Randy Shaver, there you go. Continue your dry out.
Nice to be back.
Yeah. Are you dried out yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting there.
It took a while.
I'll come back to Earth tomorrow when I have to go back to work for a couple of days. It's really weird now going to work because I know that, it's now super real, right? 3 months ago when I knew this was coming, it still didn't feel real, but now it starts to feel real. So.
I hope I get that feeling someday. I really do. But it probably will never happen. I'll die on air.
Oh, Josh will make sure it happens. You and Josh are going to ride out in the sunset together.
We hope to.
Yeah, we hope
someday.
so. We hope so. All right, Randy, tomorrow morning we'll mess with you further.
Sounds good.
Thanks, son. We'll be back in a few minutes with more from Janel Klein on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, too.
It feels like April is release month. When you get through with that set of stories and it's time to set a new course for the next WrestleMania, and that makes sense if you're going to do what Jim Ross would call a roster purge.
Taking a look at your corporation a couple times a year and realizing that some strength over here or you need to eliminate some. That's all it was.
Something to Wrestle, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yes, you're listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, and Janel Klein is here. Janel will be making an appearance on our Independence Day booze cruise. Isn't that right, Janel?
It is a true story.
That's
No
great.
way. That's awesome.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm
she said to me, quote, I'm
Are
get turned.
you going to get turned?
What does that mean, Josh?
That's fire. That means she's going to consume an alcoholic beverage or two. Maybe get a little buzzed up.
I'm a get turned.
Yeah, she's going to get turned.
She said. Well, that's great, Janelle. We always appreciate your company.
Oh, God, it'll be so much fun.
Janelle, can you and I do like we always do when we go out, matching outfits? What are you thinking? We'll have to look ahead.
Besties.
We'll have to look ahead at the weather. That'd be fun.
That would just be sickening.
Janelle and
I love that.
for the Independence Day, we wear those big, like Abe Lincoln red, white, and blue top hats.
Oh, yeah, that's sharp.
Oh, man.
I want all the attention on us. That's our personalities.
We do love attention.
More attention.
Yes.
Independence Day booze cruise coming up June 28th in Stillwater. We'll have more passes for you because you got to win to get on the damn thing. We gave some away a little bit early. We made someone awful happy. Don't panic. You'll get your chance. Independence Day booze cruise. Janelle, gone be there. Also, at the end of this month, 2 show members will be celebrating birthdays, I'm told. Wapple and then Dana.
Correct.
Did I get the correct order?
Yep.
Both of you somewheres around the end of the month.
Yes.
32 for you, Wapple?
Yes.
39, Dana?
That's correct.
You guys
Any plans made already?
I'm going to be... Where am I? I'm going to be at Champlin. I'm going to be at Cub Wine and Spirits from 4 to 6.
This isn't time to plug a bar gig.
On your birthday,
I'm asking about...
I thought you asked what I was doing on my birthday.
You have a bar gig on your birthday?
Yes.
Cub Wine and Spirits, 4 to 6 in Champlin.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just the beginning of the night, and they're wonderful people over there. I'm sure they'll treat you nicely. I'm talking about, what else? The birthday plan. It's fine if you don't have plans yet, for God's sake. It's still 20-some days away. Just curious if you were already, thinking about anything.
Absolutely nothing.
All right, fair enough.
Mine's on the 30th, so it always just kind of gets lumped into a 4th of July type celebration. And that's fine by me.
All right.
The 4th of July probably would have a different view on that.
They want to disassociate with me as far as possible.
Now, wait a minute, Janelle. Aren't you bringing a friend who is of the Cub Wine and Spirits family?
I was just talking about that. My friend Carrie and I just texted about it yesterday, and she works for Cub. So, yeah, I'll have her send you special birthday wishes, Wapple.
Oh, that's great.
That'd be great.
What is your drink of choice?
Mine?
I'm sorry, Wapple.
Oh, okay.
Oh, whiskey.
Whiskey.
Really?
Yeah, Crown Royal.
Oh.
In the Jarro, I think somebody sang, didn't they? Thin Lizzy. All right. Janel Klein and her friend Carrie. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to walk up and say, where's Janel Klein and her friend Carrie?
Yeah.
We might need bodyguards.
Yeah. No, stop it.
Stay away from most everyone, Janel. Stay as far away from most everyone. So that'll be coming up. Then we got the birthdays coming. On the topic of birthdays, I think this is an easy question, but apparently this has become a thing now. You know how social media turns the stupidest things into something. Throwing yourself a half birthday has become a thing.
I only know one person that celebrates their half birthday.
I haven't seen any of this yet.
Okay.
So what do they do for it, Josh? Like a full-on party and make a big deal of it?
Not as big as the birthday. I mean, it's somebody we all used to work with, and he wanted you to recognize it, that it was his half birthday.
That is the dumbest thing.
And there'll be like a dinner or something like that,
Really,
cash.
honestly, they had a half birthday dinner. You went to one of these?
No.
Oh.
I thought they were joking. I didn't realize that was really a thing.
Okay. See,
I started laughing.
So people started asking on social media, would you go to someone's half birthday party? Now, the first thought that I have is no.
It depends where it is and what we're doing.
Well, here's what it depends on for me. Not if the birthday boy or girl really believes in it.
Sure.
Then
Exactly.
I'm not going.
If it's kind of a jokey, let's just get together type of thing.
Obviously, I like parties. If it's a joke and we get to bust their balls about it all night long, then sure, I like parties. I like social gatherings. I like to visit. I do. But if you really take it seriously, come on, get a grip.
I've never been in a relationship with a half birthday person, but I've definitely been in relationships with birthday month people.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Yes.
It's my birthday month.
If they take it seriously, that's ridiculous. But I mean, like,
Wait a minute.
when it comes to my birthday, I'm like, it's my birthday month, but I'm not like, I need balloons every day. I need you guys to treat me like it's my birthday.
But you're a big birthday person. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I absolutely love birthdays, and I think people should go. I think people that don't like to celebrate their birthdays, I want to change the way they feel. I want to make them feel special on their birthday.
Oh, I'm not much of a birthday.
Yeah, me neither.
Myself.
I'm like, holy cow, you lived a whole other year. You know how many people didn't do that? Like, congrats. That deserves to be celebrated.
You see, for you people who may be enthusiastic about half birthdays, you're probably going to launch into me for not embracing that gimmick, because my half birthday is on St. Patrick's Day.
And you don't even like St. Patrick's Day.
I hate St. Patrick's Day. So you'd think if I was one of those half birthday people, my God, I could go bananas.
You could get turned.
I could.
That's a good day to get turned.
Throwing yourself a half birthday is a thing now. All right. Especially for the young people. Well, the social media crowd, of course, they want to hop on everything that might be a thing, if only for 5 minutes. I think that explains why young people are more enthusiastic about this half birthday thing.
Oh, this is interesting from Supernatural Jesus. He said his girlfriend's an elementary teacher. They celebrate half birthdays for the kids whose birthdays are in the summer. so that each kid gets to celebrate during
I always
school.
got kind of left out like that. Bob, I bet you did too.
Everybody
really
gets
didn't care.
a trophy, right? Everyone gets a participation medal.
I'm fine with that because that was cool getting, like, when the kids would bring in cupcakes or donuts. That's just more cupcakes and donuts for everybody else.
Oh, and by the way, a quick shout out to I'll Try Anything 4 Times Jesus. Today is, he says, what a coincidence. Today is my 15 and 30 seconds birthday.
Birthday.
They have a card section just for that exact occasion.
Son of a bitch. All right, so that's the latest thing. There was a poll conducted on this, whether or not you give 2 pumps about a half birthday, and people were pretty split on the idea. 24% of people would love or like to be invited to a half birthday party. 23% think it's a dumb idea. Everyone else is neutral. No one else could be bothered about this, and I totally understand. When's the last really great birthday party anybody had? Something really memorable?
For ourselves? Or
yeah, for you guys.
Well, my 30th is really the only big party I've ever had.
Yeah, you had a hell of a party on your 30th.
That was fun.
Yeah, you want to talk about getting turned.
Oh, I got turned.
Really?
Yeah.
Josh was annihilated.
That's
on this.
awesome.
Oh, just disgusting, and he made no sense, and he smelled bad.
Yeah, terrible.
I would love to see that.
On purpose.
Was that the last time you were turned, Josh?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like truly turned.
Like, yeah, I would say that's the last time I was really drunk.
I mean, yeah, you were a mess. Absolute mess. It made it fun.
Yeah.
But
my sister-in-law, so at the time, my wife and I were casually dating at that time. And my sister-in-law, I guess, afterwards said, he's a mess. You shouldn't be anywhere near him. You know, like that was a one-time thing for me. I don't get that way. But
she thought maybe you behaved like that all the time.
Yeah, like I was a drunken nightmare. Which that night I probably was.
You were something.
I was definitely hammered.
God, help us. I'll never forget, how bad off you were that night. What about you, Janelle? You have any big memorable birthday memories, I guess is where I was going.
I was with a friend last night. We were talking about my 21st. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, now I could not care less. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing.
Same for me.
I've never had anything too memorable, I guess.
Well, you just got started. You're 26.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be thrown a surprise party, so hopefully when I'm 30.
Oh, I had a surprise party only one time, and that didn't work out well for me.
I'll make sure I don't wear a light blue turtleneck.
Yes, ribbed and too tight as well.
I wish there were photos from that night.
Well,
There probably are.
I've had surprise parties planned for me that then got ruined.
How?
Those are fun.
You found out?
And I was old enough that, even if, I guess, anywhere beyond my 10th birthday, I wouldn't have really cared, right, if the surprise got spoiled.
Yeah.
Because I'm also not a big birthday guy. This wasn't that long ago where I had no idea that there was a surprise planned for me until there's always going to be someone who forgets or isn't paying attention when they're told, shh, keep it a secret. Because I got a phone call from a buddy of mine that I don't hear from very often. And he says, hey, what time's that thing get started tonight?
No.
Yeah. And I said, what thing? He said, well, the party. You and your brother, like a birthday thing? And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And the sumbitch goes, oh, Jesus.
I really did it this time.
He knew it. It's not easy. It's not. There was recently, that's a whole nother route we can go down. It's not easy. Recently, there was a surprise party for a YZ American Legion friend of mine, and I almost blew it a couple times because I run into the sumbitch all the time, and you're given a month heads up on the surprise so you can make plans and be there. I came very close to screwing it up. So there you go.
The last time I was at a surprise party was my buddy I was telling you about. He was the 50th birthday, and that's where I realized, oh my God, I don't know how to hold a beer. That's where I.
That's where that beer came from?
Yeah.
I thought everyone was looking at me going, this guy's never held a beer before.
What a loser.
You were feeling very insecure about, self-conscious about it.
And I think I made it worse by trying to be casual. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's how you hold a wine glass. Wait, do I put my pinky up? Where does my pinky go? How do I do this?
Does Janelle know this? Do you realize just how self-conscious Josh can be at times?
He has told me, yes.
Do you know the story of when it snows?
No, I don't think so.
Now, I've known this peckerhead for a lot of years.
Yes.
And I know what makes him tick. I know how he operates. I know how self-conscious he can be and insecure.
Yes.
But this was when I think I asked him, dude, do you need a couple weeks off? I think it was just this past winter or 2 winters ago.
Yeah, it was just this last winter.
He said he hates it when it snows overnight because then when he pulls into work here and he gets out and walks to the door, he's self-conscious about what the next person, usually it's me, but he's self-conscious about what the next person might judge about him from his footprints in the snow.
Yeah, what if they're opinionated about my stride? Or the choice of line I take, Maybe I didn't take the best route.
Right?
I mean, come on.
What about your driving?
My driving, I don't think too much about.
Yeah, you don't think about that.
Yeah, but so I'm duck-toed and pigeon-toed.
Oh.
Right, so so then I try and straighten my feet out.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Does it turn into like an overcorrect then, a little bit?
Sometimes. And then I always, it's a kind of a long walk, so I have a lawn chair. I got to sit down and kind of catch my breath a little bit.
And I remember I asked you, I said, are you even like thinking about or nervous about, concerned about what I might think of your footprints? And he said, yes.
His
I'm
best
like,
friend.
Your footprints?
Well, I want him to view me well.
Right.
I mean, what is now? Of course, I would have never noticed until he brought it up. But then every time it snowed, yes, you can tell that you are very pigeon-toed. You can tell by your footprints. But that's something I never would have noticed until you brought it up. That's you got to stop thinking like that.
And then, Janelle, what I would do is I try and throw people off the scent where I'd walk in a silly circle or something like that. So someone coming in, look at the whimsy there. Someone's just really enjoying the day and making the best of it.
Josh starts walking the big push broom in behind him as he walks into work.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's just I'm hiding the fact that I have a awkward gait.
Oh, that's so silly. Dirty Engineer Sheezes. Her 30th birthday will be the date of our booze cruise.
Oh, boy.
I hope she wins.
Talking about how friggin' destroyed Josh was on his 30th. Her 30th will be the date of our booze cruise. Please take me with you so I can be turned like Josh.
I want to. I wish we could just open it up like the old days. We just can't do it anymore.
Do you guys feel people do get turned on the cruise?
Not as much as it used to be.
Not nearly as bad as it used to be.
Thankfully.
It's more mellow.
If you ask the buddy that I brought with
That
last
guy
year,
almost died.
He'd say, yeah. Gosh.
I mean, there's still people who just naturally have too much to drink.
Right.
That's fine. There's always one or two. It used to be 50 or 60 people years ago, but there's still one or two who make an effort to get the drunkest, so maybe then we talk about them on Monday.
Yeah. I can't imagine there being that many people that are that gone.
I've only seen one guy where I thought was dead. I thought for sure this gentleman has just passed away. And, we had some first responders that were joining us on the boat that luckily they were there. They were able to tend to the guy. Remember, he called in the next day.
Yes, he did.
I have no idea how. We all thought, even like one of the cops there was like, well, that guy just died in front of all of us. He's so intoxicated.
He was lying directly in the sun, and it was probably 97 degrees that day, and he was, for all intents and purposes, a dead carcass.
Yeah.
And I remember we did have to talk about him on Monday, and we thought, well, this guy, he must be in the hospital, or
for sure.
And the phone rang, and it was him.
And he sounded completely
Sounded
fine.
great. I guess that
young guy. That's a 22-year-old dude or whatever he was.
21, 22, you can bounce back from things like that.
Has anyone ever gone overboard?
Yes.
Really?
On purpose.
Yes.
And it was stupid.
It was on purpose.
And he got arrested immediately.
Good. Yeah, you
This is
can't
one
do
of the
that.
dumbest things I've ever seen. This is also many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Again, he wanted to be the star of the show.
Oh.
He wanted everyone to go, oh, wow, that guy, right? There's always, every party has one or two of those people. And it was the very end of the cruise. We're almost at the end of the cruise. The big boat is almost docked, and he's desperate now. He hasn't gotten enough attention in the 3 hours so far. He's got to do so. He jumped off the roof, and he was arrested, and everyone ignored him, and I loved every second of it.
That was great because, the cops are just sitting there on the shore, and they're just like kind of waving at him, like, come on over.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw somebody talk himself basically into a DUI when the The officers essentially begged him not to get on his motorcycle and ride away, but, he couldn't be told what to do.
What an idiot.
It's much different now, Janelle. You will be fine as long as you stay close.
I mean, there's a couple people that text in and said they'd like to make a lampshade out of you, but for the most part, you're going to be safe.
You guys, when the guy jumped over, was it dark?
No. It was a daytime deal.
Oh, okay.
This is back when we used to do it in the daytime.
I see, okay.
Just stay close, Janelle.
Yeah, I will.
Stay close.
I will.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, we're almost out of here. You're a great crowd. Thanks so much for listening today. Hopefully you come back tomorrow, 5:40. We crack the mics at 5:40. A lot of folks texting in about our Independence Day booze cruise now that we started talking about it. A lot of folks volunteering to keep an eye on Janelle.
I'll bet.
While the
very close eye.
A couple of text messages here directed at you, Janel Klein. Ask me about CrossFit Jesus. Now, I disagree with this. You were talking about, you remember your 21st birthday.
Yeah.
And I understand where he's going with this. He's making a joke about drinking. Ask me about CrossFit Jesus says, Janelle is the only person who would remember her 21st birthday. I remember quite a bit about mine.
I remember mine as well.
I do too.
It was such a big moment, and I remember that great feeling of my twin brother and I. We have September birthdays, so we were one of the first of our group of friends to turn 21. The rest of the poor bastards had to wait for November, December, and so that was kind of a cool feeling. So long, suckers. We're going to the bar.
Right.
You sit here with this lame-ass house party. We're done with those days. We're going to the bar.
Pick up some. You get to go to everyone else's 21st birthday party, too, once you're the first.
Oh, Rampa, we went out to pick up some new stuff. Get out to the bar and pick up some new stuff.
I still have pending litigation 28 years later from my 21st birthday from Bennigan's trying to kill me with 3-for-1s and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that
Janelle, are you old enough to remember Bennigan's?
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
what
my
is
gosh.
Bennigan's?
So Bennigan's, it was like a bar restaurant, and they would always have 2-3-for-1s, things like that. It was ridiculously cheap to drink there, so that's where we all went.
Where was it?
We'd go to the one in Bloomington.
Oh, it was like a chain, so there were many.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
There's one off 394 that we frequented quite a bit in college for that exact reason, Josh, a 3-for-1.
Yeah, it was super cheap, and I think they wanted us all to die.
Yes.
How do I not know what this is? That seems like that would have been right up my alley around that time.
Towards the end, nobody knew about it.
Okay.
That's probably why they're not in town anymore.
Could be, yeah.
Towards the end there, nobody knew.
Oh, what's that? 3 Long Islands for $1.50? Yes, please.
Oh, my God.
I'll take that.
Don't know where I'd put all the vomit. I remember quite a bit about my 21st. Let's see here. Here's another text from Logistics Manager Jesus. Janel Klein in studio today. She comes in every Tuesday, and folks like to say hello and this and that. How about this? Logistics Manager Jesus said he went to high school with you, and he remembers you as probably the nicest person from his school days.
How nice is that?
Isn't that wonderful?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Whoever said that.
Yeah, I believe that to be true.
Everybody that, like my friends or family that have had the opportunity to meet you, Janelle, they all say the same thing after meeting you. Like, oh my gosh, she is the best person I've ever met.
That's
like,
so nice.
I know.
My
I know.
wife.
That's really nice.
After Shaver's ordeal, my wife's ordeal. It kind of was an ordeal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
It was a gala.
It went on forever and ever.
It really was an ordeal. Like, come on, wrap this up. I know we're raising money for charity here, but my God. Yeah, she had some wonderful things to say about you as well, Gina.
That's so nice. That was the best part, is getting to meet all of your significant others, because some of them I hadn't met, so that was really fun.
I'm sorry.
No, they were all great.
Sorry about my friggin' wife.
No, stop it.
She interrupted a conversation. She went storming. Is that Janelle? Went storming over there, tugging on your shirt. Meet me. I'm someone to meet. It was.
She was so great.
One final text directed towards Janelle, and this has to do with her joining us for our Independence Day booze cruise. A listener simply texted in and said, "Janel Klein. Oh, yeah. Is she a great big fat person?" No, she's very thin.
Yes, she's physically fit.
I don't know if I'd go fit.
You're very physically fit.
You're what the young people call tight.
Yeah.
She's
Right?
not
Isn't that the thing now?
Not a great big fat person.
No.
What movie? Silence of the Lambs. Thank you for the text. I knew where you were going with that. Appreciate your text. All right, thanks for coming in, Janelle.
I can't wait for this, you guys. The countdown's on now.
Call Josh if you want to discuss an outfit.
Yeah.
I do. Josh, really, we should coordinate.
And let's take a beer holding class.
She knows how to hold a beer.
I'm picturing a movie.
Oh, yeah, I forgot she's from Faribault.
Yeah.
They're born with one.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a movie montage of like you guys trying on different outfits, coming out of like the dressing rooms,
Yeah, like I've got my finger on my chin, shaking my head. Nope,
Doing
that doesn't work,
spin,
Janelle.
like a little turn
Yeah.
so you guys can see it.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
What a scene that would be.
And then finally, yes, that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
A round of applause.
Yeah, there we go.
Strutting up the walkway to the boat.
Wouldn't that be something? That'd be fun. Well, before we go, we did want to pass along our best to the Minneapolis Police Department and the family of Officer Jamal Mitchell being laid to rest today. Very tough day, obviously, for the community, for law enforcement, and Mitchell's loved ones. So our thoughts are with you guys today. Happy 36th to Bang Bang Jesus, and have an awesome Tuesday.
93X. The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.